타식스와 LG 울트라 기어가 함께하는 ASL 시즌 11 24강 마지막 F조 경기로 인사드립니다. 안녕하세요, 이영경입니다. 자, 이제 오늘 경기를 통해서 16강의 모든 선수들이 결정되게 되는데요. 현재까지는 저그와 테란에서 각각 5명 그리고 프로토스에서 4명의 선수들이 배출되면서 황금 밸런스를 만들어가고 있습니다. 자, 과연 오늘 경기를 통해서는 어떤 선수들이 16강에 오를 수 있을지 먼저 첫 출전을 앞두고 있는 2명의 선수죠. 변현재 선수와 배호연 선수 만나보겠습니다. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 네, 먼저 변현재 선수 1일차 경기에서는 결승에서 아쉽게 패배했지만 그래도 2일차 경기 모든 경기를 승리하면서 또 이렇게 본선 무대에 함께하게 되셨습니다. 24강 F조 경기 조편성에 대한 변현재 선수의 생각은 좀 어떠세요?
솔직히 조 자체는 엄청 만족스러운데 제가 이제 ASL에서 24강에서 떨어질 때마다 마지막 조였거든요. 그 기억이 2번이나 있어가지고
네.
조는 만족스러운데 날짜가 순서가 마음에 좀 안 들어요.
스스로에게 좀 그런 징크스가 있다면 또 그걸 떨쳐버리는 것도 또 하나의 좀 과제가 될 것 같은데
네.
오늘 경기 좀 준비를 단단히 해오셨을 것 같아요. 느낌은 좀 어떠세요?
네, 일단은 느낌 자체는 괜찮은 것 같고 무조건 진출할 수 있을 것 같아요.
배호연 선수와도 인사를 좀 나눠봐야 될 것 같습니다. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
ASL 팬 여러분들에게는 처음으로 좀 얼굴을 알리게 되셨는데 이렇게 본선 첫 경기를 앞두고 계신 기분이 어떠신지도 좀 듣고 싶어요. 많이 긴장되시나요?
처음에 경기장 오기 전까지만 해도 설레었는데 세팅하고 그러다 보니까 지금 너무 긴장돼요.
그래서 저와 인터뷰 전에 변현재 선수에게 좀 떨리냐고 물어보셨던 것 같아요. 아무래도 경험이 많은 변현재 선수는 좀 덜 긴장됐을 거라고 생각하신 것 같은데 변현재 선수 좀 어떠세요? 긴장되세요?
저는 올 때마다 항상 긴장되는 것 같아요.
그러니까요. 이 ASL 무대가 긴장이 안 될 수가 없는 무대인 것 같은데 배호연 선수는 그럼에도 불구하고 오늘 조금은 웃을 수 있지 않을까 하는 생각이 드는 게 같은 조에 있던 예선전에서 한두열 선수를 잡아내신 경험이 있으세요. 오늘 또 어떤 경우의 수에 따라서 한두열 선수를 만날 수 있는 또 순간이 있을 수도 있는데 좀 자신감이 있으신가요?
한두열 선수 만나면 그냥 무조건 이길 것 같아요.
무조건 이길 것 같다.
네.
예선에서 승리를 거뒀을 때 느낌이 굉장히 좋으셨던 것 같아요.
네, 그때 2번 떨궜거든요. 2번 떨구고 나서 그냥 질 자신이 없어요.
굉장히 자신감이 넘치는 모습을 좀 보여주고 있는 배호연 선수인데요. 변현재 선수는 사실 시즌 7 준우승이라는 고점 딱 찍고 나서 이후에 변현재 선수의 팬 여러분들께서는 우리 현재 더 할 수 있는데 라는 아쉬움만 지금 계속 좀 남겨주고 계시잖아요. 이번 시즌에 좀 뭔가 그 뛰어넘는 모습을 보여주고 싶으실 텐데 준비 과정이 어떠셨는지 좀 들어볼까요?
솔직히 준우승을 하고 나서 제 실력에 좀 자신감이 많이 없었거든요. 그 당시에는 이제 결승 갈 실력도 뭐 아니라고 생각했었는데 약간 운 좋게 이제 준우승까지 한 것 같고, 근데 지금 이제 또 다시 잘 되는 시기인 것 같아요.
네.
그래가지고 이제 이번 시즌은 꼭 높이 올라갈 수 있도록 해야 될 것 같아요.
변현재 선수가 생각하고 있는 고점은 어디일지도 좀 듣고 싶은데요.
일단은 목표는 시드를 받는 게 제일 목표예요.
4강.
네.
그 다음은 우승이겠죠. 준우승까지 해보신 경험이 있으시니까. 근데 제가 두 선수에 대한 기록을 좀 찾아보다 보니 좀 재밌는 부분이 있었습니다. 두 선수가 STX 같은 소속이었다고. 물론 배호연 선수는 공식전 출전 경험은 없으셨지만 한때 또 같은 팀이었던 경험이 있으신데 혹시 배호연 선수, 변현재 선수에 대한 좀 기억이 있으신가요?
기억이요? 그냥 지금이랑 똑같은 것 같아요.
지금하고 똑같다는 건 지금은 좀 어떤 좀 인상을 받고 계신가요? 변현재 선수에게.
네, 그냥 스타 하는 플레이가 옛날부터 그냥 똑같이 약간 좀 독특하다 해야 되나?
독특하다. 변현재 선수는 오늘 배호연 선수에게 좀 어떤 기억을, 어떤 인상을 남겨주고 싶으신지 또 첫 경기잖아요.
네. 일단은 호연이가 일단은 두열이 형한테 엄청 자신감이 있잖아요.
그렇죠.
이제 저랑 아직 안 해본 것 같은데 이제 제가 첫 번째 판에 이제 확실하게 경기력을 보여주고 다음번에 만나면 좀 주눅들게 만들 수 있게.
좀 벽을 느끼게 해주겠다.
네.
좋습니다. 자, 이제 팬 여러분들께서 이제 두 분께 궁금하신 점을 좀 남겨주셨는데요. 변현재 선수에게 드리는 질문입니다. 최근 변현재 선수가 개인 방송에서 승리를 거두고 난 이후에 따봉 세레머니를 자주 하시는 걸 보셨어요, 팬들이. 이번 ASL에서도 좀 그런 세레머니를 자주 볼 수 있을까요?
예, 당연히 ASL은 이제 개인 방송에서 이기는 것보다 더 기쁠 테니까 자연스럽게 나오지 않을까. 예.
자연스럽게 싼따봉이 나오지 않을까 하는 기대를 좀 해보고 있는데요. 자, 다음은 배호연 선수에게 남겨주신 질문입니다. ASL에 처음으로 진출한 배호연 선수다 보니까 어떤 선수일까 궁금하신 분들이 굉장히 많으신 것 같아요. 한마디로 좀 본인을 소개한다면 어떤 말씀을 해주고 싶으신가요?
그냥 아마추어의 이영호라고.
아마추어의 이영호다. 이거보다 더 강력한 한마디는 없을 것 같습니다. 자, 두 선수 각오가 굉장히 남다를 것 같은데요. 마지막으로 각오를 한마디씩 들어보겠습니다. 변현재 선수.
일단은 24강은 이제 무조건 뚫어야 된다라고 생각하고 왔기 때문에 이제 오늘 올라갈 수 있는 모습 보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
네, 배호연 선수도 각오 한 말씀 들려주시죠.
올라가겠습니다.
두 선수의 첫 경기 굉장히 기대됩니다. 인터뷰 감사드리고요. 멋진 경기 기대할게요. 고맙습니다. 자, 이렇게 해서 첫 출전을 앞두고 있는 변현재 선수와 배호연 선수와 인터뷰 나눠봤습니다. 두 선수 모두 각오가 남다른 만큼 아마 치열한 경기가 좀 예상되는데요. 자, 두 번째 경기 출전을 앞두고 있는 선수도 만나봐야겠죠. 윤찬희 선수와 한두열 선수 만나보겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
네, 반갑습니다.
화면에 본인을 보고 좀 깜짝 놀라신 것
네.
같아요.
네.
윤찬희 선수 굉장히 좀 오랜만에 뵙게 됐는데 2일차 단 한 번의 예선 참가로 또 깔끔하게 24강 진출에 성공하셨습니다.
네.
이 예선 때 이번 시즌 좀 나 윤찬희 올라갈 수 있을 것 같다라는 느낌을 좀 받으셨을까요?
예선은 저번 제가 예선 떨어지면서 그 객은 사라졌거든요. 10번 연속 객은 사라졌는데 이게 이제 ASL 이제 관계자님께서 제가 안 보이니까 심심하셨나 봐요. 이번 예선 좀 약간 쉽게 만들어 주셔가지고 제가 아주 손쉽게 그냥 올라와가지고 별 감흥 없습니다. 예선 올라온. 예.
24강 조에 대한 생각은 어떠세요? 그러면 24강 조도
네.
나에게 좀 쉽다라는 느낌이 좀 드시나요?
좀 약간 게임 열심히 그러니까 뭐 안 한 적은 없지만 더 열심히 했을 때는 되게 무조건 올라가겠다 이런 생각을 할 수 있을 만한 조인데
네.
지금은 솔직히 좀 자신감이 많이 떨어져서 좀 힘들 것 같습니다. 오늘 약간 올라가더라도 좀 힘겹게 올라갈 것 같아요.
윤찬희 선수가 예선에서 굉장히 깔끔하게 올라왔다면 한두열 선수는 예선에서 조금은 좀 고전을 하는 모습이 있었습니다. 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요. 반갑습니다.
예선에서 좀 뚫었던 당시에 이렇게까지 힘들 거라는 생각이 좀 드셨나요?
아이고.
워낙 ASTL 때 또 좋은 모습을 보여주셨어서.
네. 아니 저 예선은 항상 쉽다는 생각을 가지고 게임을 했는데 이번 예선 너무 어렵게 올라와가지고 그 수식어가 붙었더라고. 예선 다승왕이라고. 게임을 제일 제가 많이 했더라고요. 예. 좀 어렵게 올라왔습니다. 예.
윤찬희 선수 유독 크게 웃으시는 것 같은데 좀 전에 인터뷰를 한 배호연
네.
선수가 한두열 선수에 대한 굉장한 자신감을 좀 보여주셨거든요.
네네.
첫 경기를 좀 앞두고 있는 윤찬희 선수나 한두열 선수에 대한 생각이 좀 어떠실까요?
근데 두열이가 이게 솔직히 무시할 만한 실력은 아니거든요. 이 친구가 약간 훅발이 좀 딸려서 그렇지 사실 한 5분, 10분 안에는 이 친구 또 한 방 있는 친구이기 때문에
네.
제가 봤을 때는 방심하면 지고 약간 평소대로 하면 이긴다. 약간 이런 느낌입니다. 예.
한두열 선수도 좀 전에 배호연 선수의 인터뷰를 좀 들으셨을 텐데
네네네.
굉장히 자극이 많이 되셨으리라는 생각이 듭니다. 인터뷰 들으면서 현장에서 좀 어떤 마음이 드셨을까요?
아니 근데 저 만날 수 있을까요? 네.
어.
못 만날 것 같은데요. 제가 볼 때는.
예.
예. 저도 뭐 몽근 선수가 옆에 있지만 네 무조건 이기고 뭐 최종전까지도 생각을 해보고 있기 때문에 아마 2패 탈락해서 저를 못 만나지 않을까 싶습니다. 예.
그래서인지 이 커뮤니티상의 많은 팬 여러분들께서 F조에 대한 생각을 변현재 선수는 일단 무조건 올라갈 것 같다. 배우현 선수, 한두열 선수, 윤찬희 선수의 2등 싸움이 좀 치열하지 않을까라고 말씀을 많이 하고 계시는데요. 두 선수는 오늘 경기에 대한 자신감이 좀 어느 정도이실지. 한두열 선수는 개인적으로 승자전 진출을 좀 목표로 두고 계신가요?
일단은 그 테란전 위주로 연습을 많이 했는데
네.
변현재 선수가 워낙 잘하는 선수기 때문에 근데 단판 승부는 또 모르잖아요.
그렇죠.
그렇기 때문에 뭐 컨디션 좋고 운 좋으면은 2승으로 진출할 수 있을 것 같고 아니면은 최종전까지 가서 결국에는 올라갈 것 같아요. 오늘은.
윤찬희 선수는 오늘 인터뷰하는 그 모든 애티튜드가 굉장히 여유로워 보이세요.
네네.
아무래도 빠르게 진출할 것으로 좀 본인은 예상하고 있지 않을까 하는 생각이 살짝 들거든요.
정확히 짚으셨습니다.
네.
말은 이렇게 했지만 2승 한도열 2승 말 같지도 않은 소리예요. 제가 있는데 어떻게 2승을 합니까? 제가 봤을 때는 그 커뮤니티에 나온 이제 변현재 올라가고 이 세 명이서 열띤 싸움을 할 것이다라는 이런 생각이 솔직히
네.
변현재 빼고 이 세 명이서 다 할 것 같습니다. 그래서 오늘 되게 박 터지는 재미난 싸움 보여드리도록 하겠습니다. 예.
초반에만 조심하면 후반까지 간다면 한두열을 상대로 충분히 이길 수 있다라고 윤찬희 선수가 또 조금 전에 말씀을 하셨는데 그럼 오늘 좀 뭔가 운영에
네.
대한 진수를 좀 보여줄 각오가 되어 있으신 건가요?
이 친구가 근데 후반을 잘 안 가잖아요. 그래서 초반만 잘 유심히 쳐다보려고 준비하고 있습니다. 근데
알겠습니다.
이러다가도
네네.
또 이 친구가 제가 이런 생각을 할 것도 이 친구 또 프로지 않습니까? 다 알고 있어요.
그렇죠. 다
그
예상하고
약간
있겠죠.
그거를 이용한 역심리전의 이 운영까지
네.
전 머릿속에 지금 다 넣고 왔기 때문에 저는 뭐 자신 있습니다. 네.
한두열 선수 어떠세요? 윤찬희 선수의 이런 역심리까지 좀 생각하고 있는 모습. 굉장히 우습다는 표정으로
굉장히 말렸는데요.
한두열 선수가 보고
표정
계신
굉장히
것
말렸는데요.
같은데 어떻게
네.
좀 묘수를 준비해 오셨나요?
아니 묘수를 할 건 없고 원래 빌드를 준비한 게 있었는데 어제 이 친구의 게임을 봤는데 너무 못하는 거예요. 그래서 빌드를 바꾸고 또 연습을 또 했기 때문에 충분히 자신 있습니다.
네, 에스크 ASL을 통해서 팬 여러분이 남겨주신 질문을 좀 전달해 드려볼 텐데요. 윤찬희 선수, 최근
네.
많은 연예인들도 좀 본캐, 부캐 이렇게 좀 다양한 모습을 보여주고 계시는데
네네.
윤찬희 선수도 또 대표하는 부캐가 하나 있잖아요.
네, 어떤 거죠?
윤뚱과 몽군 사이에 어떤
아.
차이가 있느냐라는.
차이점은
네,
근데 이게 제가 아무래도 지금 그 친구의 이제 캐릭터가 지금 별로 없다 보니까 이제 여기에서 이제 합치려고 하는 것 같은데 저 그 사람 잘 모릅니다. 그 친구는 잘 모르는 약간 제 2의 자아로 약간 키우고 싶었던 말 그대로 부캐로 키우고 싶었는데 지금 약간 본캐 이 성향이 너무 강하다 보니까 지금
네.
합쳐졌거든요.
네.
이 약간 다른 서로 다른 분야라고 생각하시면 되겠습니다.
지금
네.
윤뚱을 손절하시는 건가요?
아니, 손절까지는 아니고 그 친구 제가 굉장히 좋아하는데
네네.
나중에 굉장히 잘 될 겁니다. 네,
알겠습니다.
그래서 약간 제 2의 자아라고 보시면 되겠습니다.
네, 먹는 모습은 굉장히 흡사하신 것 같던데.
네.
네, 두 분이라고 하니까 일단 그렇게 알고 있겠습니다.
네네.
자, 이 한두열 선수에게 주신 질문인데요. 이 초반에 몰아치는 승부수에 강하다라는 평이 있고 후반으로 갈수록 힘이 빠진다는 이야기가 있습니다. 하지만 늘 초반에 경기를 끝낼 수는 없는 법이잖아요.
그렇죠.
장기전을 갔을 때 어떤 핀포인트 전략이 있을지에 대한 질문을 좀 주셨어요.
장기전을 갔을 때 제가 힘이 많이 빠지는 거는 사실인데 그렇다고 해서 제가 그렇게 뭐 장기전을 해서 그러니까 많이 못 이기지만 그 승률이 그렇게 나쁜 편은 아니거든요. 생각보다는.
그렇죠. 네.
그렇기 때문에 오늘 충분히 자신 있고 그리고 오늘 게임 보시면은 이 친구가 많이 그래도 성장했다 이런 거를 좀 느껴지시지 않을까. 오늘 연습을 많이 했기 때문에 준비를 많이 했기 때문에
한두열
그러길
선수,
바라고 있습니다.
네, 한두열 선수의 경기를 보고 많은 분들이 좀 느낌표, 물음표가 아닌 느낌표를 좀 떠올리실 수 있기를 좀 바라실 것 같은데 끝으로 두 선수의 각오를 짧게 한 마디씩 들어보겠습니다. 윤찬희 선수 한 말씀 해주시죠.
일단은 그 연습을 안 한 것 같지만 연습 굉장히 그 방송 안 끌 때 생각 많이 하고 그 생각을 좀 약간 녹여내기 위해서 저 혼자 나름 또 되게 지금 진짜 너 게임 생각 너무 많이 해가지고
그러니까요.
게임
지금
생각 너무
경기
많이 해가지고
생각밖에
말하는 걸
없으신
까먹은
거잖아요.
거예요.
네.
게임 생각을 너무 하다 보니까
그렇죠.
진짜 제가 어제 솔직히 게임을 했으면 안 됐어요. 어제 너무 그러니까 이런 대회에만 너무 집중하다 보니까 어제 그 개인 방송에서 게임했던 게임을 제가 너무 못했어요.
어제 졌던 생각은
네.
빨리 털치시고
그렇죠. 예,
오늘
자꾸 어제
승리할 수
그게
있는 생각을
살짝
하셔야죠.
지나가면서
네.
이제 제가 잠깐 그 지진이 왔는데 오늘 제가 경기력으로 보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
네, 한재열 선수 한 말씀해 주시죠.
옆에 보니까 좀 긴장을 많이 한 것 같네요. 그렇기 때문에 예, 저 오늘 준비한 대로 잘 플레이해가지고 진출하도록 하겠습니다.
네, 두 선수 오늘 멋진 경기 기대하겠습니다. 인터뷰 고맙습니다.
네, 감사합니다.
네, 하식스와 LG 울트라 기어가 함께하는 ASL 시즌 11 24강 F조 경기, 과연 16강에 오를 마지막 두 선수는 어떤 선수가 될지 F조 경기 지금 바로 만나보시죠.
I like these moments where the players are trying to get up and leave, and then someone in the crew is like, sit back down until you're off camera. Guys, welcome back. This is the last group in the round of 24, and after this, it's all about the round of 16.
Ooh, I cannot wait. Of course, we will have in between there the group selection, which will be translated for you guys as well.
Yes.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your support on patreon.com/ASL English. This has been a wonderful round of 24 so far. We have the golden ratio so far for the
So
round
far,
of
so
16.
good.
And as long as Mini makes it through, we'll have a perfect ratio.
That's right. I think he's going to make it through, too. Wouldn't you?
If he does not make it through this group, that is the craziest thing that's ever happened, because there's
He
no
should-
doubt he's the best player in the group.
He should be dumpstering this group, to be honest.
He should be dumpstering it and lighting it on fire and shooting it into the moon. No, really. He's against a Terran who I don't know who that Terran is.
Yeah. SoSo.
That's like, who are you if I don't know who you are?
This is
I pride myself on knowing the up-and-coming Terrans. Who is he?
this is kind of a funny group. I mean, MisO is good, but I don't know how well he'll be performing today. Mong, we should note, guys, Mong is one of the biggest streamers in the entire country.
Damn, he's pretty big.
He's huge. And it's great that he gets this far. And sometimes he looks really, really good, too.
He puts on an insanely strong macro game if you let him.
Yeah. He's a very gifted player. So here's what we've got so far. As we said earlier, we're thinking Mini gets in there, and then it's about as even as physically possible for a round of 16.
It'll be a 5-5-6 if he makes
Right.
it in, and that's it doesn't even matter who else makes it. But yeah, he should be favored, as you can see here, who has gone through already. Had a very fun group before in Group E with MisO getting through in second place. That was pretty cool. I can't wait to see how Mini plays though, compared to how MisO played. You know, remember, Mini is very shuttle focused in Protoss vs. Terran.
Well, Mini is really the new era of Protoss, where MisO is the old. You know, Mini it really is able to do a lot of these builds, and all the matchups, by the way. He's able to do these builds that we thought were either obsolete or too eccentric to be applicable in a tournament, and he's able to do it. I mean, we're talking like one base gas builds versus Zerg.
Oh yeah.
You know, obviously the shuttle play here in PvP. PvP, he's quite smart in as well. So I'm excited to see how Mini's going to perform today. Again, I think this is a group he has to get out of. And then I guess it's either Mong or maybe MisO.
Yeah.
But I don't feel strongly about either.
No, I certainly do not either. I think Mong is slightly favored to get out second place. but
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. And honestly, if nothing goes wrong for Mong in the early game against Mini, he can beat Mini as well. Like, this is not unrealistic. As long as... Because Mini sometimes panics, too.
Yeah.
You know, like, he sometimes does, like, a really dumb move where he's, like, gets a little bit behind, then he throws his shuttles into turrets, and it's just... that's it.
He does seem to be a little bit more out of his element on stage, although I think we've seen him basically overcome that.
Maybe. Like, but we have seen it from time to time, right? So I'm not...
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how this man does. He looks older than last time we saw him.
He
I
is
guess
older.
everyone is older than last time
I think we
saw
look older than the last time anybody saw us.
him. Not me.
No, you're actually getting younger. There's a painting in Artosis' house of him where he's getting older, but Artosis stays the same age.
Yeah.
And for me, my head
My
just
painting
gets a
is-
little bit bigger each year. It's like, how big is Tastosis' head going to be?
My painting's getting so old, it almost looks like you now, Tastosis.
Oh, Tastosis. Oh, damn, the fingernails are real over here.
Man.
All right.
He's a vampire.
Damn, those are some long fingernails.
Yeah.
That would bother me if my nails were that long.
Actually, back in the Kespa days, a lot of pro gamers grew their fingernails on their right hand long, and well, he has them on both. But they thought that they helped them press the keyboard buttons better.
I knew some players who were really into rhythm games that had longer fingernails as well.
Oh,
What?
I'm just looking who he beat. Oh, he actually beat MisO in the finals of his group to make it in. That's really funny.
This is a guy we just don't know a lot about, and I'm actually quite excited for this player, even though I think he's probably going to end up dropping out of this group.
Yeah.
Because it's showing you that there are new people that are up and coming. For this guy, this is the biggest day of his career.
Yes, it certainly is.
For sure.
It's a big deal, and it's really extra funny that he's actually literally in the group with MisO's who he beat to get in. But that also, MisO is one of those borderline guys that isn't in every season. Anyways, I actually really hope that he plays MisO again, because I feel like MisO would beat him here, right? Because of the experience
because
factor,
of the pressure and everything else.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
All right, guys, we're going to be going on to Eclipse as we have for the start of every group here in the round of 24. It is a PvT. We know that Protosses can gas steal. They can proxy or they can play straight up normal on this map. How will Mini approach it? Well, we're going to find out now as Mini versus SoSo. It's hard to, sorry, it's hard to hype out the name SoSo.
SoSo?
I was like, Mini versus SoSo. It's just one of the ideas. It's hard. It's hard to shout.
I get you. Yeah. Well, actually,
It's like shouting average.
I feel almost kind of hyped about that ID, and I'm gonna say a name, and that's gonna send a lightning bolt through your brain and anyone else who's played this game for over 20 years.
Yep.
D22 SoSo.
Oh, there's an idea I
Yes.
haven't heard in forever.
Yeah, and while Mini's going out to do a proxy gate and gas steal, let me just explain this. Basically, at the very beginning of StarCraft, I'm talking 1999-ish, there was a player known as D22 SoSo, who is considered one of the strongest players in the world.
Wasn't he like a Command and Conquer player as well, or am I making that up?
I can't recall, but he did very well at like NA lands. I believe he was actually a Korean American.
Yeah.
That's
correct.
Yeah, he did. Oh my God, where he's putting that's insane. I want to talk about that. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there for anyone who remembers D22 SoSo.
There was a couple big names back when you. I wonder if this is still on the internet. The battle reports.
Yeah. I would imagine BattleReports.com is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But look at where his gateway is being put. This is so far back you will never scout it.
No, this is brilliant. I mean, putting the gateway over here like this is it's close enough that you can actually get to the Terran very quickly, but it's in a spot that, I mean, I haven't casted a game where someone's proxied here before. I haven't seen this. It would never occur to me to put that down there. And so this is going to be a bit of a surprise here. Now, is he going to go for the gas steal immediately? He has the minerals, but it looks like he wants to make it look like it's a Manor Pylon.
Oh, he puts down the gas, and yeah, this is like, we're not even having SoSo scout for it, and that's actually best case scenario for him. If you go out and look for this gateway right away and you don't find it, and you actually search for it, then you go to the main base, then you're not going to be ready for it. Now let's see. He doesn't scout the back of his natural. He goes down a little bit here. Now, this is a normal proxy gate location.
Right.
Doesn't see it there. Okay, so this is bad for SoSo because he's looking for something that is not there.
That's right.
And he actually doesn't check the other location.
And so now the Zealot's going to come up. Going up here into the natural is going to be the key here. And we've seen games where they did not actually get the gas up, but having the gas stolen, having the barracks down here, like, this is so good for Protoss, and even getting the Manor Pylon up.
Okay, look at this beautiful SCV block there for a moment. Now, going behind, uses the probe and the Zealot to try to get some additional damage onto these SCVs. Good micro from SoSo so far.
Yeah, he's done a very good job of controlling this. I'm wondering if there's going to be a battery thrown down here in the rush. I guess that wouldn't be that good. I'm always curious with rushes like this, like how far can a pro push it? The Zealot's coming up now.
And look at this. The micro of SoSo so far is amazing, really. Like, for a rookie player, to micro in such a high-stress situation this well is already extremely impressive.
Now watch the probe come up here.
Yeah, he's going to retake the gas.
Yeah,
if it gets going.
He's probably going to actually attack the gas. Oh, maybe he won't have time, but if you can actually kill the gas right before it's dead yourself and then rebuild on it, it's huge.
Yeah, it's a common move on the ladder. Gotta watch out for that. Look at it. He has a lot of Marines. He's actually microed so well. Look at this. Juking and jiving, pulled around. SCVs stopping on the Zealots. I am so impressed with this micro.
He's got Zealots on both sides. The probe did retake the gas. The probe was also killed off.
But SoSo pulls those SCVs back, actually traps one of the Zealots really well. Another Zealot does end up connecting on the Marines, but you know what? Like, this is still a very solid hold.
It's possible that he could try to come in here and kill some more of these wounded Marines. Again, the goal is just to make this gas geyser last as long as possible. It's just about having that, because the gas is now started here for Protoss. Keep in mind, some of these Marines are damaged, others are not, but Zealots are already very strong against Marines as it is. If you get those Dragoons out, then you can really come in there and do quite a bit of damage.
Ooh, Mini gets right on top. Really great move from Mini, but SoSo, again, with very sharp micro, pulls back, still has 5 Marines, and he's going to make a bunker down the ramp. Like, he absolutely needs to expand off of this. He held it brilliantly. How else can I say it? I'm so impressed that in his first pro match, he holds a rush like this.
It's pretty wild. The Marines stuck on top of the SCVs.
Oh my god, that was so painful right there. He loses a lot. Now the SCVs drill up really quick movements there to drill them towards the main base and block those Zealots.
Yeah, he's doing a good job pushing in here. And again, I mean, just getting on top of these Marines like this, beautifully done. One more Zealot's going to come in here. I think the bunker's going to finish. Oh, I guess not. I guess it's not as far along as I thought.
Oh, and he actually picks off some on the way. Mini's micro really strong as well. And SoSo at the very end of this, gonna end up losing a few more Marines. But again, this is actually like, I think he held this better than many seasoned pros would have held it.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Okay, so finally that's picked off. Now, where is the cybernetic support tech at here? This is what
he just keeps going.
So, because he killed off enough of those Marines, he can basically ignore the bunker. The Zealot can just run by, and remember, these probes have been mining the entire time. They've gone uninterrupted. About a quarter or less of the SCVs have been used to defend here the entire time, or attack the gas, or anything else.
And oh my god, another Zealot's coming out. He's getting all the scouting intel as well. He sees the 2 factories. And I mean, Mini is keeping the pressure on while he's going ahead and taking his expand. But I still have to commend SoSo for this hold. It's still very, very strong. Like, so many things could have gone worse for him, but he ends up holding pretty well. Now, Mini ran by with even more units. The amount of aggression he's putting on is kind of wild.
Yeah, I mean, Mini really knows this balancing act perfectly. I think a lot of other Protoss players would have backed up more quickly, but you can see Mini just sort of knows just how far Protoss can go. And again, you could see the Dragoons, same with the Zealots, can basically ignore the Marines, or the Marines in the bunker, I mean. And now that he's in, this is where it gets scary, because 4 Dragoon shots kills a Marine. These SCVs want to get a surround. They're going to break free on this left side up here.
Oh my god, tasteless. I can't even. Like, Mini just kept it up and kept going, and SoSo did a great job for a really long time, but only ended up getting 1 Marine in that bunker, and just barely he's going to be broken. Like, this is very bad for him now. he's barely mining.
I don't know if the game is going to end, but we're getting to a point here where the damage is becoming just insane. Is that Nexus done?
Yeah, I think it's just finishing about now.
He's so caught up in microing this.
Yeah.
And again, it's not that many shots for Dragoons to kill a tank, and so the first tank goes down, and Mini is just wrecking right now.
I can't believe how much this turned on its head. He just kept sending those units. I know this feel, though. Sometimes this happens where you start holding a rush magnificently, and then everything goes wrong, and oh god, he didn't even repair that one. So now he's starting to fall apart, unfortunately.
I think there's Dragoons attacking the bunker down here, and I I think this rush is almost over, but I mean, the amount of SCVs that have been killed, the number of attacking units that are not going to be part of this game anymore. I think Mini's going to easily take his third base. He does that just now.
Yeah.
He's going to tech into Reavers. He'll be able to really keep the Terran off the third here. And in fact, this bunker's going to go down.
He can't let the bunker go down. He actually really needs that there. Okay, he does end up saving it. Thank God for SoSo. And I guess the game will go on. But, oh my God, he actually ends up losing. No! Mini jumping on the tank. Does not end up getting it. SoSo pulls back up the ramp.
Can't believe this attack is continuing on here. It looks like even if the Terran survives, I guess the problem I'm having here, try to imagine a Terran win, is like when Reavers are out. I mean, Reavers are so good now to help out in fights like this.
Well, it's just like, what do you do
right
in any situation? It's really... It's impossibly hard. He's losing so many SCVs, so much mining time, so many units. He doesn't have siege mode yet. Mini is just keeping him busy, whittling him down.
Yeah. Here come the siege tanks, finally in siege mode. They're able to drive this back as best they can. There's the first Reaver in the game. I don't even know if there's turrets in the main, are there?
Oh, he might have one, but I'm not sure if he even made it yet. All right, the third base is up for Mini.
He's got the contain on him here. It looks like the Reaver's going to come up now. Now, already so many SCVs have been picked off that it's, even though we see infrastructurally, you know, Terran sort of has what they need to get going here, they don't have the resources coming in like they would normally. The supply is actually 50 to 75.
That's such a difference at this point in the game. Really, you should be much, much closer than that. He's taken a ton of damage. Mini's economy is going to just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Look at this. Drops a Zealot and a Reaver on there. Attack moves in with the Goons, but that's not doing as well. It's really the Reaver that's carrying this battle.
Yeah, the Reaver's able to target down the tanks, and it looks like the shuttle's barely going to survive, and that is just another bust here. The shuttle can even pick up the Reaver. I mean, it just gets worse.
Yeah. This is too bad. It was so promising at the beginning of the game, Tasteless. I was ready to tell you that we have our new Terran hope, and then this happened.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think the real victory for Mini was when he killed the Marines at the ramp and the bunker could not be fully filled up. Because then the Zealots and the Dragoons could just run by it.
Yeah, he just kept running in with everything, and this is going to be GG. I will be very surprised if Mini stays in this game from here. I mean, if Mini won't stay in the game because SoSo's going to be eliminated. Yeah, there it is. GG.
GG. I mean, Mini. It's a good build in a 1v1 map like that.
Yeah.
It's one of the stronger aggro builds that there is in PvT, if not the strongest.
Yeah, I think he executed it pretty well. I think that SoSo was actually out microing him for a long time, and then when he was really trying to take his bunker, Mini jumped in with more Zealots and just barely got on top of the Marines and just barely got up the ramp and then just barely did it again and then just barely got Goon in and then just barely got a second Goon in, and at that point it was too much. It's like you need to be able to rally around your bunker and block everything eventually. You really need 3 Marines in there, 4 Marines in there, and block with your SCVs, get that damage done. But Mini just relentless and does end up punishing the up-and-comer.
So Mini goes on to the winners match, and you know, everything's so far panning out kind of like we expected it to. I mean, we thought Mini would be winning, and he did very well. I think SoSo looks like a great player. But up next, Mong versus MisO, a much more ambiguous match.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
야채 착착, 방토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥, 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
아이시스 에코, 오늘 내룩의 찰떡.
마시고 분리수거 끝.
많은 분들이 아이시스 에코를 따르고 있습니다.
이것도 라벨이 없네?
무라벨은 따라해도 대환영. 팔로우디 에코, 아이시스 에코.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준, 가스감. 환도 역시 가스감이 대세.
울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
Welcome back, guys.
Yes. And why are we back? It's because of you, the fans. You saved esports for the ASL English cast.
ASL Tastosis casting died, and then the fans came and they cried, and the tears landed on the casters, and then we came back to life.
It's so true. It's so true, guys.
It's like every Disney movie. Like, it's not until you get older that you go, wait, how do they come back to life, though? I mean, I know they're sad, but...
Which of the seven dwarves are we? Like, what's going on here? We ate the poison apple of no more English casting, and you guys woke us up with your tears. So thank you so much, everybody.
If you guys do want to support us, go to patreon.com/ASL English and pledge your support to us. We do have other things we're looking into to continue to expand the access that English speakers can have to StarCraft content out here. We can't say anything certain yet, but please do support us out there. We really do appreciate it.
All right, so we had the young gun SoSo demolished by Mini, unfortunately. I think that he showed a lot of promise. Okay, that match is over. Mini's in the winner match. That's what we expected. Now we have Mong going up against MisO.
Mong is the young greaser.
Yeah.
Ready to go hang out with John Travolta
here. Yeah. God, so stupid. But yeah, listen, Mong, Terran vs. Zerg is considered his weak matchup. It's generally what holds him back a bit. His Terran vs. Protoss is very, very strong. I mean, his Terran vs. Terran, I've almost never seen his Terran vs. Terran, to be honest. But yeah, his Terran vs. Zerg can be a little bit shaky. But the thing is, his macro is very, very good. So if he gets into any situation where he can rely upon his mechanics, then he's actually like one of the better macro players in the world. Whereas this guy is completely the opposite of it. MisO is a micro player. He's an aggressive player. He will do cheesy, aggressive, in-your-face strategies. You're not going to see this guy just turtle up and go into Defiler.
Yeah, he's one of those Zergs. He likes his lings. He likes his timings. I don't know what to expect with these two. I think Mong actually is the favorite. Mong's quite good. He also is oozing with confidence.
Yeah.
As you could see in his interview, like he's very kind of comfortable being a public. He's an alpha. All right.
He's an alpha.
He's
just like you, Tasteless?
No, not like me. He's dating the girl we all want to date. We're like, oh, leave some for us. He's the cool guy.
Damn, I thought you were an alpha. So
No.
you're below an alpha, and I'm below you. So where is that?
We're at the bottom of the barrel here, Tastosis. You and me? Are you kidding me?
All right, we are going into
The bullies are never going to give our ball back, okay?
Oh, well, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Kick it over the fence.
No. All right, guys, this is game 2 of the night. It's Mong versus MisO. Again, the winner faces Mini here in our next match.
Okay, Mong in the bottom left.
What is with that cord?
Right.
Did you see that?
No, what cord?
I mean, people can rewind it in the video, but the cord is like shooting out to the side.
Is
like
it?
his headset's plugged into the computer next to him.
Oh, damn. Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah.
Maybe he's
plugged into MisO's computer.
Yeah.
I'm like,
he hears the Mutalisks hatch. He doesn't ever scan. He's like, what? How did you know all these things?
Okay, so we've had a couple great TVZs on this map so far, but let's just point out the basics here. You know, there's several Nook expansions on this map, not just your third, but also in the bottom right that Zerg can try to expand to. So we want to watch for that and see if those areas can be controlled or not by the Terran. You know, I don't know what Mong's going to do this time.
Ooh, 8 racks. Cool. Is what he's going to do. And there it is. So a little bit of a pressure build from him.
Now, if you guys want, I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I know that some people skip right into the game, so I just want to say it one more time. Mong is one of the biggest streamers in the country.
I wasn't aware he was that big. I knew he was pretty popular, but that's cool.
No, he's huge. Like, sometimes you'll go to his channel, there's like 23K people watching.
Are you talking about Brittany?
Oh, I'm talking about Brittany.
Okay, I was going to say, like, I know that Mong is pretty popular, but yeah, Brittany is the one that's like super...
No, you know what? This is so funny. I have this thing where I swap their IDs sometimes.
Yeah.
This has happened in a previous cast, too.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing I'm here, Tasteless.
No, this is what you keep me in check. Good correction, Artosis. Sorry, guys. I suddenly swapped him. That's right. Brittany is huge.
Yeah, no, he is gigantic. He is one of the biggest streamers.
Yeah, massive. But I like this forward racks position here.
Yeah, well, it's a macro opener, actually. It's like a very pressure-filled one, but 8 racks generally goes into standard games. You're just looking for damage. Now, it's not going to do anything because this is a pull first from MisO. So, and honestly, because it's a walled 8 racks, nothing can really go wrong either, right?
Yeah.
I would say that MisO has a slight edge from these builds. But it's not that big a deal. Like, he has plenty of Marines. He still doesn't need a bunker. He can just go command center.
Yeah, he just plugs the entrance and goes ahead and throws that command center down there. He's still going to come forward, though. I feel like this could be risky.
He's just watching to see if Zerglings pop out of the eggs, most likely. And, well, I guess, no, he just turns around anyways. But if you see 2 drones pop out, you could actually go across and put pressure on.
Right.
Because then you have 1 larva that pops up, and even if that's 2 lings, you still can kill it off. But, yeah, it looks like 4 lings coming out. He's going to continue to scout, and he already has his SCV ready to make this command center.
So the layers now started here. The SCV is going to scout it. And see, this is going to be a 2-hatch layer timing here. It looks like the Ling's going to come up here and check in the third to just see if there's any SCV there to spot. And I think the game's going to slow down for a little bit here.
He's just got a nice little SimCity there, so the Zerglings can't really do anything to those Marines. And now we get to see from Mong where he wants to go. He throws down a gas. I think he'll go into engineering bay right away. I'd be pretty surprised if it's anything else, but like he could try like a factory type play. It's just, it would be a little bit slow against this.
So the SCV still getting chased around. Kind of annoying here. You can see the Zerg didn't get Ling speed. So it's much easier to just keep running and running and running here with this SCV. Looks like it's finally going to get cornered here.
Jukes and jives through, at least for now. The longer you keep it alive, it's like so useful. Because, like, if they were to go Lurker, it would be so delayed at this point, right?
Right. You're pretty much confirming that they are, in fact, going to go for Mutalisks. And, I mean, Mutas is much stronger than Lurker, but you want to be ready. One of the worst ways to lose is to be surprised by an kind of off-meta tech, which I think Zerg are probably the best at it of all the races, for suddenly switching into, an attack that you weren't quite ready for. Everything else requires a little bit more build-up.
Yeah. You're kind of describing my life right now. Like, yeah, nothing's more painful than that. I know. You preach it, brother. But it is Aspire coming up.
Oh, they're playing the game wrong. The Academy is coming along here.
Yeah.
Mini-map.
Some people do play the game wrong, just to make that clear. But yeah, okay, so Mong right now, he's gone into the Academy really, really quickly here. But we don't see like a third base coming up or anything. That is something that Mong might be able to punch. Notice this SCV is specifically looking for that. Because if there is a third base there, he can walk out with its Marines and Medics and maybe force a cancel. But that Spire finishing up, so he's going to have to go ahead and make his turrets pretty quickly. And see, it's like a pool first versus an 8 racks. And it just kind of is getting into a very normal game from here.
Right. Yeah, the mutas are going to be coming up here. We're going to see how well Mong can try to handle an attack like this. But this is one of the classic ZVT StarCraft builds. For a while, this was almost viewed as overpowered. You know, people figured out how to micro Mutalisks like a third of the way through StarCraft's history.
Yeah, something like that.
Where suddenly you were able to move mutas in ways that we didn't realize you could do before, and therefore they were able to do way more damage. And so Terran's had a hard time against this. Protoss as well, but I think Terran's even more so, with the fact that the mutas could just gun down not just SCVs, but Marines, turrets, pretty much everything. And we would see games where the 2-hatch muta alone would just sort of wear the Terran down, grind them down into sand and end the game.
No, it is fearsome. You got to make a lot of turrets against this. Notice Mong already going up to 4 at his natural. That is in fact needed. He is upgrading right now. Once he gets the range upgrade, he's probably going to want to move out onto the map. Haven't seen like exact. Oh my God! Look at MisO. How crazy he is. He just flies over it.
This is pretty insane, actually. He's gonna get stuck here if he's not careful.
Yeah, he's got to fly back out. That was.
That's so funny.
I mean, I'm pretty surprised about that. If you know that he has units in the main base, do you think he's like, when the mutas fly in, he's going to keep them at the ramp?
It's really funny.
Is that what? Why? What?
He got in here and he's like, I don't like what I see here.
Yeah. And now he's taking so much damage. Like when Mong moves out, MisO has to be really careful.
Yeah, it's just funny that he came in and it took damage from 4 turrets. I think he lost 3 or 4 mutas back there as well. Now he could still do damage, but really you need to keep the muta count pretty high in order for this to work. So hemorrhaging those mutas early on, that hurts.
Yeah, he has to make more here. And I mean, he can. Well, it can be the end of the world. I was going to say it's not the end of the world, but it can end up being the end of the world if he pushes through and kills your 3rd because of that. We don't know yet where MisO wants to go tech-wise. Just glancing at the minimap, it doesn't look like he has a Hydralisk Den yet, so probably just going to stay on mutas for a bit.
Yeah, going to do whatever damage he can do, and this is not a bad idea to try to take out this depot.
That's one of the sad things about walling in on a map like this is that depot location is another place that you have to defend, and oftentimes it's not really worth it to put enough turrets there to keep those alive. So more and more mutas coming. MisO just staying on top of this harassment. He's going to pick off this lone turret at the top, but the Marines are putting a lot of damage onto those mutas. Still, the bottom has a good amount of turrets. Mutas coming in once again. He's picking off as much as he can. Pretty decent harassment so far.
I love the drone here. we know the hatch rallies now.
Yeah.
That does happen. And so we have 2 starports. Now, he's going to not make wraiths there, Tastosis.
No.
He has to get vessels. There's no...
Yeah, he's going vessels. Unless he, like, had a hidden armory up there somewhere. Like, actually, this particular game, a Valkyrie would be really, really strong. But I think it'll probably just be in a vessel. He already has 2 gases, and that goes towards vessel.
Ooh, losing 2 mutas already over there. Gonna bring the rest of these mutalisks now into the group. Trying to attack with 2 control groups, and not quite working out, but you can see some of the tactics that the mutalisks are used for around these mineral patches. And because they have the glaives, and because the Marines tend to line up behind the minerals, you can fire into whatever's furthest outside, and the glaives will bounce through, hitting a lot of other targets.
Yeah, he's done a lot of damage so far. Look at this. Going to go ahead and hit the turrets on top of the barracks, but more Marines are here. Those mutas are getting very soft right now. But he is getting damage done, too. Look at this. Ling's countering into the natural as well, but I think he has to pull these mutas back before they all die.
Well, they're all so low.
They're so low.
But if they're not all killed, they are still doing an absurd amount of damage, and I actually think now MisO can just kind of exist over these barracks and keep getting kills, and he's not going to have any issues replenishing this. All he needs to do is get some Zerglings in here, and I think that's actually a fatal move.
Maybe, but as soon as an Irradiate comes out, all the mutas are going to explode.
That's why I'm saying...
In fact, he just lost like a bunch.
Yeah. But I mean, Terran doesn't have an army.
No, he does not.
I mean, this is... You are so close to the breaking point. Okay, there's 1 vessel out. I'm sorry, he only has 1 vessel?
He should have a second one in his second here. He was definitely building out of both.
Okay, again, you see the power of the glaives as they bounce off there. Now, we know that Irradiate's coming.
Yeah,
we
looks
know
like it's
that-
done.
Yeah, and so does he have... Okay, he's about 5 energy out.
And the Marine count is starting to build up once again. He's diving on those Marines as hard as he can. Now, he does have a Hydralisk Den behind here, and I think it's time for the switch. If he doesn't get some Lurkers out really soon, these Mutas can't hold on, right?
I would think not, Artosis. He's backing up here. We're gonna have the Queen's Nest coming down here. This is very a classic TVZ here right now with these two builds we're seeing used. He immediately pulls out the...
That was good.
That was snap reflexes by MisO. Very nicely done.
Yeah, it was actually a lower health Muta that he irradiated as well. So maybe a little mistake from Mong, but that can be tough. But look, if MisO holds him back and gets a decent amount of Lurkers out, maybe he makes something happen here.
I think MisO's still winning this game.
Yeah, I think this is one, like a game like this is one of the hardest ones to tell who is going to actually take it, because a lot of it, what matters here basically is this move out. If Mong can micro well and find the right locations to hit and utilize his science vessels well, I think he can take an outstanding lead here or even possibly finish the game.
Oh, I can't even believe he got those. That was insane.
That was insane.
That was insane. Perfect execution. And now, I mean, if you roam on the map without a vessel, you can die to hold position Lurkers.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, what choices do you have?
No, you got to just go across and kind of trust that they're not there yet because of the amount of mutas you fought. You kind of get a little bit of a feel of this, but sometimes things can go wrong. But look, losing those two vessels, that was like the most clutch thing that MisO has done all game. That was an amazing move. Look, he has 4 more Scourge who he wants the next 2 Tasteless.
So cool here. The Defiler Mound on the way. More hatches coming down. I mean, those vessels getting killed was insane.
Yeah.
The one thing that's going to allow Terran to really catapult back into having the ability to win in a long ZVT is having a lot of vessels you can irradiate. Oh, he's going for it again.
Oh, he gets another one. MisO is a god, Tasteless.
I would love to see the first person of that, because mechanically he knows exactly how to make the Scourge fly directly into the target.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes the Scourge will hiccup in their movement. Not for him.
I gotta tell you, this I am so impressed from MisO because I think he actually used his mutas really stupidly at the beginning, flying over the turrets and then flying back, and he dived super hard, which I think was a hard call, but it did well. But then to pick off 3 vessels now and get into Lurkers and get into Hive, I actually thought Mong was going to come back with that first push out.
Yeah.
Because there was like going to be 2 Lurkers or something. That's not enough. But here MisO is setting himself up.
Okay, Ling's attacking here. Get the kill on that Marine. And now here comes this push. The armor. That's kind of a funny irradiate. Probably better to use the irradiate on the Lurkers, to be honest.
Yeah, like, if there's still a good amount of mutas left, yeah, use it on the mutas, but like 3 injured ones, no.
It seems like Mong's kind of going through the motions here. Okay, double drop ship.
Ooh.
Are there Lurkers there? I think there's actually Lurkers on top of the drone. Or, I mean, Lurkers under the drone? Yeah, I was right.
Okay. Oh, and he actually Scourges the top drop ship and the second one. I guess you'll get a little tiny bit of harassment done here, but that's like basically 20 supply gone to kill like 3 units.
No, I think Mong's playing pretty sloppily here. He's going to try to come through this area, and there's just no way.
Yeah, he's not finding any damage right now.
But honestly, I think it's the ideas of what Mong's doing are all good ideas, but he is not able to execute. He can't keep his vessels alive. The most important part in this phase of the game would have been that drop back there. It wasn't executed very well. I think had he done a better job with that drop, maybe he could even have killed that location.
Yeah, if he drops like both the drops at the top left corner there, he actually could have done very good damage there.
Right.
Unfortunately, that is not how it went down. And now he's sitting here and he's lost 3 vessels and, 2 drop ships. So his vessel count is super low. And that makes this harder and harder to find any damage.
Okay, now he's going to dive on top of this SCV. Big kill there.
Ooh, you do not want to cancel that. That command center's almost done.
There it's coming up.
No.
I don't think he can save it, man. I think it'll be close, but yeah, this CC is going to go down. Canceled, third base denied. It's not over yet, but again, we're seeing a lot of whiffs here from Mong.
The only thing really going all right for Mong, I think, is his double engineering bay production.
Right.
That's like he's getting his upgrades, which is super important, but it feels more and more like MisO is gaining control of this game. Look, he's only like, what is this, 11 supply down? That is not how you want it to look. A lot of the time, you'll see a Terran player at 115, 120 right here against the 87, and like 6 vessels easily, right? And that's just not the case right now for Mong. But you know what? He's starting to get some vessels up here now. All right, 4. That was more than I thought he had right now.
Now, let's point out, if he kills all the lurkers up there, maybe he can break in. I guess there is a Nidus, though, into the main, so he has to worry about that as well. But, you know, even though Mong's played, I would say, poorly overall, since he's pushed out of his base, I actually think there's still a chance that he can win this.
Yeah. I think
it's still doable.
This is not a lost game all the way. It's just MisO has the amount of vessels he's picked off and stopped the drops and everything like that. It's starting to feel pretty good for him. But yeah, I mean, like what he's doing right now is not really getting anything done. Not that this is like a huge waste, but MisO does need to think about getting a 4th base soon.
So we see the Lynx trying to do something to get in over here on this expansion, but I mean, it looks like the 3rd base is going to come up here. You know, Terran on some level just has to kind of control the Zerg. And this game will eventually slow down, grind to a halt, and the Zerg will have to leave. As long as you have a big presence of infantry out here, as long as you're irradiating defilers, irradiating ultras or lurkers, you can get some very good exchanges here. And Mong does have very good sense of what's going on the map. He's scouting everywhere.
Yeah, look at this. And he actually runs from the Defiler, splits off a few Marines to kill it. That was a perfect move from him.
Beautiful.
He's starting to take over the map a little bit. And I feel like MisO, like with some of these Lings running around and everything that he's been doing, he could have used these times to just make a 4th base.
I agree.
You know, this is the thing. If you're playing against SK Terran, you simply must get to 4 bases. If you're on 3, a pro will kill you. They will not let you win if you're on 3 bases. Like, they can actually even stay 2 bases for a very long time against that. But once you get that 4th base, it gets really tough for Terran to keep up with it, right? Because then you have like Plague, you have Darkstorm, you have Ultras.
Not only that, Tastosis, this is a Terran on 3 bases. So they're actually even on bases. So I think
you don't want that.
Despite really beautiful control here by MisO early on, like eventually Mong's done all the tasks, all the chores he needed to fulfill in order to be a healthy SK Terran. Here we are now. And the fact that these Ultralists are just getting killed off needlessly, I mean, that's the only thing that you can really do to throw even harder right now.
Yeah, he's just like attacking over and over and over. When he kind of had, I feel like when you get ahead as Zerg, it's not about going for the kill, it's about taking that 4th base.
I agree.
And that's just, it's actually something that we've seen a lot in this ASL so far against SK Terran players, where a lot of the Zergs are not trying to take the 4th. Like, he has not even tried to throw down a 4th hatchery yet.
Right.
But the thing is, I guess that's his superpower and his super weakness, as so many players, that is the case, right? Where he's a very aggressive Zerg that got him ahead, but he stayed aggressive too long. Now, that being said, it's not over yet. He is taking that 4th base, still kind of attacking in. It's a couple Ultras here into the natural. Mong with a giant army to the north of this, though.
Yeah, more Lings coming down now. Again, though, I mean, when I see this attack, every Ultralist that dies in this game, and there's no 4th gas up yet, I just feel like MisO is taking any winnable position that he was in and kind of throwing it away. I mean, he's sort of hitting these different locations. There is a 4th coming up at about 12 o'clock, but it's just not enough.
If he gets that 4th up, right, gets it actually mining for a moment, then that can work out. But he's continually sending his units across. I guess this does keep Mong kind of busy. But if he can keep his army together and actually whittle these down, that's going to be amazing for him.
Yeah, but look at this. I mean, these Ultras are going to get killed off. Mong MisO not even running away. How are you going to stop a push to the north?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it?
It seems like Mong's almost on autopilot, or I'm sorry, MisO's on autopilot, where he's just making stuff and just seeing what'll stick. We see the attempted eraser over here.
Yeah, loses one immediately, and there was a spore that he can pull back to, so doesn't look like that was going to do too much there. It goes to the main. Oh, I like that. All right.
Yeah, this is a good idea. He needs
to go to the main.
He needs to do the damage that he can do in that area because, you know, without two vessels, you can't cast a Radiate on yourself.
Yeah.
For people that don't play Terran. So you need the two vessels because they cast it on each other.
Gets good kills there in the main minerals, so definitely does hiccup the economy here of MisO for a bit. Loses both the vessels.
And this space is up. I mean, Mong really, he has to push. He has to become aggressive here. Now, he can come up here onto this plateau and then try to push onto the opposing plateau on the other side of the map. Another vessel's going to bite the dust. I don't know what the overall vessel count is here right now for Mong, but he might be losing too much here. Okay, actually, that's not bad.
Yeah, not too bad. They have been plagued, so if we do see like a Muta or a Hydra come up, we could see quite a few vessels go down quickly. And, you know, as long as MisO holds that fourth base, this is still a game.
Right.
In fact, the supply isn't that far off, right? 135 to 102. And now that there is that fourth gas, we can see a lot of Defilers and a lot of Ultras.
Okay, here comes the push now. Up onto the high ground. It is essential that the Zerg survives this. If the Zerg does not survive this attack, they will lose the game.
All right, here we go. He's bringing up all of his Marines here. Does throw down a defense matrix. Definitely very, very helpful. Ooh, a spore finishes and starts gunning down science vessels. Now the Ultra's getting on top of these Marines, but those defense matrices so strong.
Yeah, nasty attack there. Lurker's going to come up here. Defilers inbound as well here. He needs to kill off that Nidus if he can. He does.
And it looks like he is going to plow through this expansion. We do have Defilers coming up. Maybe, just maybe, he can save it. Down goes the Darkstorm. He's got to pull out of there. Some Radiates going down on the Defilers.
There's more Marines coming up. The medics interfering with the ability for the Ultras to move.
That was some great blocking right there. And continues to push in. No units left over for MisO in this area. Another reinforcement. Some Marines come up. And that fourth base is done.
Beautifully done. And I think MisO's probably dead here as well. I mean, Mong is going to take a fourth base now.
Just awesomely done here from Mong. The kind of a comeback. But honestly, I feel like MisO just a bit too aggressive in the mid game.
Well, I think he just... It seems like he's probably won a lot of games just sort of going ham with the Ultras and the Lings when they're out, and I think that he really gave up a great opportunity. I think you're right. If he got the fourth base up and held that, and then kept hammering the third, then I think we've got a real story. But you know, Terran, while they were defending, they didn't have to worry about being aggressive on the map because there was nothing going on the Zerg side of things, right?
So true. Now, MisO with his last attack here, I think, trying to hold this off. It does look like his third base is likely to die. Ooh, just barely snaps that Nidus. And so few units left here for MisO, dropping down. Yeah, 73 supply, not too much left.
Yeah, great play here by Mong in general. It was a hard-fought game. I mean, he definitely had moments where he was kind of faltering here, but to be totally honest with you, he did what he needed to do. He overcame the disadvantage he was at early on. I love this irradiated vessel just parked on the ramp.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah.
And now we're going to see another push it over here, and I think we're moments away from GG. I don't see any way that Zerg can recover from this. I know we have an attack over here at this base, but I don't think it matters.
No, not too much when you have everything else dying as the Zerg player. So, yeah, we should be seeing MisO GG in just a moment. Nothing really left over, 38 supply. And that means Mong gets to go up against Mini next.
Yeah, this is going to be a great PDT we've got just around the corner here. I think MisO, you can see he's very good, but I think sometimes you see players that are very good, but they're going through the motions, and I think he's not asking himself, why am I doing this? There it is, GG.
Matrix the Ultra.
He should have stayed in the game. He could have won. Just hope he irradiates that too, and even irradiated D-Matrix Ultra.
There's nothing scarier in the whole game. All right, MisO, you can tell he's a bit disappointed, but honestly, this gives me the matches I wanted to see. You know, Mong, I think his TVP is probably his strongest matchup, and then MisO gets to once again go up against the guy that knocked him out of one of the qualifiers.
Very impressive stuff. Mong, he's going to be exhausted after that game.
Yeah, that was like a 25-minute game, actually. Yeah, that's true.
It was a real uphill fight. MisO, again, he's very good at executing certain things, but I think overcommitted on the Ultra Ling, especially when he had most of his Ultras. Could have gotten a fourth, maybe even a fifth. Yeah.
No, yeah, I really do agree. Like, just all the Ling attacks. He made, like, extra macro hatches, which I think is okay.
Yeah.
But if you're, like, swarming down the map and just, like, sending, like, 2 groups of Lings around instead of taking a base, like, take a base at the same time. Just make a few less Lings, maybe, right? Like, use your units defensively, anything. Just get that 4th base up.
Guys, short break, and when we come back, the next match, it's going to be Mong versus Mini. A great PvT. I messed it up.
Got you guys. You thought we were going away.
He was giving me the look, too. He's like, I don't think so, man.
Generally, this is where we sit here and talk for a lot of extra time.
That's right. Guys, thank you so much for your support on Patreon. If you do want to support us and you haven't already, go to patreon.com/ASL English. We really appreciate it. And I don't know, this group is looking actually to have some pretty good games so far.
It is. I'm actually really impressed with how well SoSo was playing at the beginning of the rush against Mini. I know that sounds weird, but a lot of times new players fall apart immediately, so we'll see how he does in the loser match. But I think Mong versus Mini, I think a lot of this game is going to just come down to the early game and what Mini does and how well Mong blocks it. Because Mini is generally pretty aggressive, and if he gets too aggressive and goes too deep, that's where Mong holds and hits that macro, and people have likened him to Flash when he actually gets going macro-wise. Like, his macro is on point.
Yeah. Mini, again, we were expecting him to just wreck this group and then move on, and he'll probably end up in a group much more worthy of his presence. But right now, I mean, look, Mong, I think he had a hard-fought game, and congrats on his win, but he made a lot of mistakes. Yeah, MisO as well. It was a sloppy game, which is fine. Sometimes those are the funnest games to watch, but in truth, like, Mini made like 0 mistakes in his game.
Yeah. I think you're about right with that. And honestly, whoever comes out of this group other than Mini, because I'm kind of assuming he's going to make it through, will probably be a candidate to be picked first in the group selection phase, because it's it is the weakest group overall. Like, while Mong and MisO are both very strong players, compared to the rest of the round of 16, they're a little bit below, I think.
I agree. It is always the funny thing where even in the round of 8, we have this where it's like, oh, well, 7 of these guys are quite strong, but there's the one guy who probably shouldn't be here.
Yeah. The surprise.
Yeah. And I think with this being the weakest group besides Mini, you're probably right. This was probably a very relaxed. When Mini saw what group he was in, he was probably very relaxed from there on out. Just seeing, oh, these guys, okay, I can do this.
Yeah, totally. But we'll see, because I think if there is a player that can knock him out, it's Mong, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, if he loses to Mong, I guess maybe an all-in from MisO is the next scariest thing, right?
Yeah, I'm also curious how the MisO-SoSo game is going to look here. I mean, SoSo actually, I think you're right when you say he did look very strong early on holding that. A lot of players will, especially when they're getting rushed in a major televised match where they're totally out of their comfort zone, that's when they do get shaky and fall apart. But SoSo does look pretty overall competent. I mean, there's no shame in losing to Mini the way that he did. Honestly, I think he would have actually held the rush, and it would have been a much closer game had he not lost so many Marines on the ramp.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only
thing that went wrong.
Yeah.
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와. 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깼니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스감. 환도 역시 가스감이 대세.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
On the floor, scrolling through photos from way before. Got my head missing how we used to be. Wishing I could see you just to say that you can think it through. I just can't get over you. How do I keep you from slipping through my hands? I don't think you want it as bad as you know I do. How do I keep you from slipping through my hands? Talk till 3, spent the night in your accord. Wrapped in my jacket to keep you warm. Woke to see it was more than just a dream. Wishing I could see you just the same. But you can think it through, I just can't get over you. How do I keep you from slipping through my hands? I don't think you want it as bad as you know I do. How do I keep you from slipping through my hands? Oh, how do I keep you? I want you to be happy even without me. What I'd give to make you feel right. So you can think it through, I just can't get over you. How do I keep you from slipping through my hands? I don't think you want it as bad as you know I do. How do I keep you from slipping through my hands? Oh, how do I keep you? Oh, how do I keep you? You can think it through, I just can't get over you. How do I keep you from slipping through my hands? I don't think you want it as bad as you know I do. How do I keep you from slipping through my hands? Can you feel
What's up, everybody? We're back. ASL continues on. Thank you, Artosis, for the Tums. I was having some acid reflux. Artosis saved me. We had some coffee, and then we had a little bit of pizza. Now I'm like, I'm about to be that high school science experiment where you try to make the volcano with the baking soda, you know.
Dude, you can't be
like,
yeah, you can't be doing ASL without some pizza, man. That's that's a given.
I'm like 1 GG and everything's just gonna foam out of my mouth. So thank God. Thank you for hooking me up, Artie.
You're welcome.
It's time for the winners match. Mong is great. Mong is good. But now he is in Minnie's hood. And
I was wondering where you were gonna go.
Yeah, we should just start doing Dr. Seuss casts.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, I don't. Okay, wait. It said the map. Is it Ultimate Stream we're playing on? I don't know. I was like too busy.
It's Hidden Track, right?
No, it's not Hidden Track. You do vetoes here, so I think it's Ultimate Stream, but we'll see in a minute.
You don't even know how this tournament works. Like, isn't this? You're like, no, tasteless. What are you talking about?
Why aren't they playing on Plasma?
Yeah. I haven't seen anybody pick Hunters yet, and I don't know why.
Yeah. You know, you get more money on Zero Clutter. Why aren't they playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real maps are the ones where you can't run out of money.
Yeah. More strategic.
Yeah.
Okay, Ultimate Stream, let's go.
Ultimate Stream, Mong vs. Mini, the battle of the M's. Let's go and find out who advances to the round of 16.
Okay, top right, we've got Mong. And the top left, we have Mini. Yeah, I'm super stoked just to see what their openers are going to look like. You know, this is a map where we've already talked a lot how it looks like Katrina, kind of, how you have that front natural up a ramp, so things like Gasless Expansion or Nexus First could be very big, very strong, but then we've seen some players trying to counter that with things like Forward Barracks or Zealot openers. But I think that the first, 4 minutes of the game are incredibly important because right around after that, Mong is going to be on his track towards macro.
Right.
And in that situation, yeah, Mini can beat him. It's possible, but that's where Mong becomes, very, very good. That's where pro gamer Mong, all of his money is made, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Mong has always been extremely mechanically gifted. Very subtle Artosis.
We all handle pizza in different ways, Tastosis. All right? You get your heartburn, I get my new stomach dinosaur.
Yeah, you get your stomach dinosaur.
Yeah.
But you're trying to move the mic there to avoid that sound. I don't know what I'm talking about. What are we talking about?
We're talking about this TVP, bro. Okay, it's going to be a Nexus First for Mini.
Yeah, but a Barracks right out here at the front for Mong.
Yeah, I think for Mong, most likely, he's just going to go for a command center right after this. It should just be a Gasless Expand. Let's see which direction he scouts in, because that's going to give him some peace of mind if he goes directly to Mini space. But he's not. He's going to go to the bottom.
Yeah, he's headed down there now, and we have Mini coming up here towards the upper right to get that initial scout off. So, Fast Nexus, first of all, one of the extremely strong macro openings for PvT, but it's kind of a build I feel like we haven't even fully unpacked yet. Does that make sense?
Do you mean the theory behind it or something?
Well, just what Protoss can do with it. There's a lot of different openers for it, actually.
Oh,
PvT.
yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot.
And it seems like some people are figuring out you can cut even more corners.
Mm-hmm.
Like this one I'm watching here, is it going to be a double gate right away, or is it going to be just, is this the one where you can even skip a Zealot? We've had some builds where people do that.
Yeah. Those ones, it gets so insanely abusive at that point. We're going to see in a moment.
Yeah. Especially because Terran's basically doing a fast expand build too.
Yeah, Terran's doing the fastest you ever really see. No one actually goes command center first in this matchup because a single Zealot will actually end the game.
Well, it's such a coin flip, especially when you have this much on the line.
And he gets in, scouts, and actually sees that it is a greedy Nexus First.
Right.
So this is the one where you didn't go 2-gate. You're not really cutting probes. It's the best version of Nexus First if you're not getting rushed. And he's not. It's like a couple Marines are walking over, but that's just in case he doesn't make a Zealot. He does, and the Marines instantly turn around.
So some SCVs have been pulled here, and they're going to be sent over to the natural. And I'm asking you, Artosis, is there anything Terran could do at all as far as recourse goes when they see this, if you're doing this build as Terran?
Oh, if you go Gasless Expansion, I think that actually a 2-fact or a 4-fact attack are both very, very good.
Okay.
You can go multiple siege tanks, 3 siege tanks or 5 siege tanks, and rally Vulture and get there like before they can get to Reaver. So, or while the Reaver's flying towards your base, rather, before the Reaver gets to you, which is the important thing. So yeah, I think countering this with some pressure is probably the best way. But it's Mong. He could possibly just try to go for like a 3rd base.
What do you think of that Zealot?
It was kind of
came in there and bitch slapped the SCV and walked out.
He's just letting that SCV know who's boss, man.
Don't
oh my
look
god!
at me.
And he comes back with his friend too.
Yeah.
The SCV has his friends here.
So funny. Hits him and he's like, "That's it. I'm out of here."
All right, Vulture going to be coming out, and honestly, I think this is actually okay for Mong. Well, I mean, I guess you could just let all your
units.
Yeah. Okay, well, never mind. I guess that was fine.
If you move the Marines, they're a little bit better. I mean, I know that.
But what if you just let him sit there?
Yeah, it's more important. He's making sure his SCVs are mining. That was really weird. I know that it's very hard for Terran when the Zealot gets there, but you do actually have to try to make the move when they're staying completely still.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what exactly your plan is. By the way, Stargate.
Yeah, that's a very fast Stargate. So this is Nexus first into Carrier. From Mong's side, he's going for a quick drop, so he might get the scout off on this, but in my opinion, this is like a really, really good opener here for Mini.
Oh my! The last shot.
Does he click? As long as he clicked on it, and he should have.
We have to assume he clicked.
Yeah, we have to assume it. That is super powerful. Like, yep. Okay, we're gonna have him. He's gonna go Mass Marines, and this is a perfect counter.
Wow,
a perfect counter. In fact, let's see if he even does anything. Yeah, he cancels the add-on, and he just says, "Screw it! I bought the starport. Nothing's being made." This is a great situation for Mong. Like, there's a very good chance he can run him over. He caught it just in time. Wow, Tastosis. This is turning into a crazy game. Nothing like I thought it would be.
Yeah, this is very exciting. So, you know, most of the time when we're trying to summarize the way the matchups operate, you'll hear us talk about how infantry are not viable in TVP. I mean, people will still come by my channel and occasionally ask the question because they really don't know the answer. Why, you know, are Marines and medics just not used? They look like they're pretty strong in TVZ, for instance. And of course, the answer to that is because Reavers, Dragoons, Zealots, everything's basically better. Like, literally everything that Protoss has is basically better. But if a Protoss is going to rush into carriers, which can work because mech takes a while to pick up, if you spot that, you can go medic Marine, and Marines fire fast enough they can kill all the interceptors.
Yes.
Now, if Mini, let's pretend that Mini had an observer or a scanner or somehow got a Zealot inside the base and saw the barracks, he would not make the carriers.
Yes.
So basically, because of that scouting SCV, Mong can do the extremely rare and extremely hard to pull off medic Marine tank push and blindside Mini, and I actually think Mini's going to lose this.
Yes, I do too. You just have to make sure you move out at the right time and then just continually rally. It's really important. He's getting +1. He probably has range on the way for those Marines right now. You want to make sure you have enough medics. You make those first. We saw that from the barracks at the natural. And yeah, it's like a perfect counter to what Mini's doing, because Mini's build is like the most greedy, crazy. This is the hardest thing in the whole world to stop if you don't know it's coming.
Well, it's funny because it's one of these moments where, like, you see that, and then immediately
for Mini,
goes,
yeah, you look at this and it's like, do I make a forge? What do I do? Like,
I know I was mentioned earlier that Dragoons can beat medic Marine. That's kind of true, but not that many.
Yeah, no, when you hit a critical mass, the Marine medic can actually beat them.
Yeah.
It's the splash damage of Protoss that you're really afraid of when you go for this.
Right.
And he doesn't have any. Like, look, Mini's dead, man. Mong is going around with 16.
Unreal. Look at this.
Oh, man, he's getting right up on top.
I love it when you watch the Dragoons try to micro back and the Marines just run right up in front and then attack.
More Marines rallying down. He has like 7 barracks right now. So, yeah, that's every 15 seconds we have 7 more Marines walking across the map.
Well played, Marin Gamer.
Marin Gamer.
His Marins are good.
They are super good. Now, look, he's trying to catch reinforcements. It's a really smart move. His carriers are going across as well. He's given up his natural. He's trying to build units in his main. Mini's doing everything he can think of. But as soon as we get some reinforcing Marines, and maybe even before then, he should be able to get through this.
He should have canceled the Stargate when he was spotted.
I wonder if he could have thought that maybe he didn't see it. But
yeah, actually, that was a pretty weird thing.
It felt like it was on the edge.
All right, he's going to push it now. He's hitting this pylon. And he's going to... Oh, I think he's not going to empower this. I thought our game crashed for a second. I'm like, this is not good. Yeah, but you can see the Marines are still coming down. Now, I will say, I think that MIDI has done possibly one of the greatest jobs I've ever seen of curbing instant death, but I don't know that he can stop the mounting pressure, even with the other carriers coming out.
I think there's a chance because he has Reaver Tech right now. I really thought this was just going to be a roll, but the fact that he cut off reinforcements for a moment, gave up the natural, then just slowed everything down and came back with the carriers.
Oh, Marins, though.
Marins are pretty good. But wait until he has a Reaver. You think Marins are good until you see that Reaver blow him up.
The thing is, though, sometimes the Reaver like fires once and then the Marins get on top of it.
That is true, but the Reaver shoots out these little things that look like apples. He's like, oh, Marins love apples.
They look like apples.
They look like apples.
You think a scarab looks like an apple?
Yes, it looks exactly like an apple.
Or Joe just truly was a vegetarian for most of his life. He's like, it looks like the kind of food that I'm allowed to eat.
Look at this.
Okay, so you can see the interceptors all killed.
But are they going to want a fresh apple taste?
Yeah.
We're going to see if it comes out. He's had the Reaver Tech. The Reaver should be popping out soon. Oh man, these Marines just deal so much damage so quickly. Look at this, more coming up, taking down these interceptors. There he is! Give the Marins an apple!
Marin apple, Marin apple, Marin apple. Oh, that's
that
what you want. Yeah, when you killed that medic, now they can't heal.
They still can. There's more medics.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That is really going to be that.
If only the probes would go into the carriers and just leave with them.
I know. Bring them down to the bottom of the map or something. Oh, man.
I can't believe Mini lost. But
Mini is getting lower and lower in his seat, Tasteless.
Yeah. Mini's got Bernie Sanders posture right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just in the middle of his chest.
He's also playing with mittens on.
That's right. All right. Let's get rid of these little space shooters. Come on. Target practice. Pull.
Oh, gotta run. Now they're blimps.
GG. Now they're blimps. Now they're Zeppelins over a football game.
Yeah.
Blimps, you're right, not Zeppelins. People don't use Zeppelins anymore.
No, people don't use
I just want people that are watching know I'm smart. I'm like, actually, I know that we don't even really fly in Zeppelins anymore. It's all about airplanes and helicopters.
You really know your stuff.
People at home are like, this guy's pretty smart.
Damn.
All right.
All right, Mini was very
embarrassing. But I mean, his tech got scouted, and Mong, he knew the counter.
Look, the build Mini did. If you get away with a greedy Nexus first into 2-base carrier, I'm telling you, Tasteless, if you don't know that it's coming at the very beginning as Terran, it is literally the scariest thing. In fact, even Snow said, he's like, if you do that build, like, you're dirty basically as a Protoss player because it's so strong.
Oh,
but
it's extremely good.
Mong catching a glimpse of the Stargate and going into Mass Marines, it was the perfect counter. And if it was any later than that, he actually wouldn't be able to do it.
We're going to be going to an interview now with Mong. Surprisingly, he has won. And
ASL
he'll be
시즌
moving on.
11 24강 F조 경기 함께하고 계십니다. 첫 번째 16강 진출자가 탄생했는데요. 윤찬희 선수 만나서 이야기 나눠보겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
와, 정말 많은 분들이 변현재 선수가 가장 먼저 16강에 진출할 거라고 예상하셨는데 모두의 예상을 뒤집고 윤찬희 선수가 16강에 가장 먼저 올라왔습니다.
이게 사실 저도 현재가 1등으로 올라갈 거라는 생각을 했거든요. 그래서 그냥 좀 편하게 하다 보니까 편하게 하니까 이긴 것 같아요. 그냥 편하게 하니까. 네.
윤찬희 선수가 변현재 선수의 스타게이트를 보자마자
네.
베럭스를 빠르게 늘리면서 바카닉 병력을 뽑아내셨거든요.
원래 제가 이거 옛날에도 되게 많이 했는데 그 약간 옛날 이거 한 번도 그냥 생각 안 하고 있다가
네.
빠른 캐리어를 너무 빨리 봐가지고 아 이거는 그냥 이거 현재 할아버지가 와도 못 맞겠다 약간 이런 마인드로 그냥 바이오닉으로 그냥 찍어 눌렀습니다.
정말
네.
이 타이밍을 깔끔하게 좀 계산을 하셨기 때문에
네네.
변현재 선수가 좀 이렇게 힘써볼 그럴 여지도 없이 윤찬희 선수가 밀어버리는 모습이 나왔어요.
운이 좋았던 것 같아요. 현재가 그냥 좀 무난하게 했으면 사실 무난하게 했으면 제가 좀 많이 힘들었을 건데 나름 좀 그 저한테 좀 쫄은 게 있나 봐요. 네, 계속 옆에서 약한 소리 하고 질 것 같다. 뭐 형은 두열이랑 해서 최종전에서 올라가라 막 이런 소리 하는 거 보고
네.
이거 현재가 나한테 현재를 나를 고평가하는구나 이런 생각 들면서도 경기에 좀 도움 됐던 것 같습니다. 그런 것들이.
윤찬희 선수를 좀 높게 평가할 수밖에 없었던 게 또 한두열 선수와의 첫 번째 경기에서
네.
정말 불리했던 상황을 뒤집는 역전승이 또 나왔거든요.
아, 그렇죠, 그렇죠.
초반에 스코지로 뱃을 2기가 잘리고 뭐 그랬을 때만 해도
네.
사실 좀 어려울 거라는 생각이 들었는데
네.
또 상대의 빈틈을 잘 파고드셨던 것 같아요.
이게 그냥 저는 제발 두열아 넌 사가스 먹지 말고 무조건 짜내라 이 생각만 계속했거든요.
네.
뱃을 잡히고 뭔가 게임 이상해지면서도 거기서 뭔가 사가스 지향하면서 게임을 했으면 그냥 끝까지 힘들었을 것 같은데 딱 두열이답게 게임 해줘가지고 제가 낼름 받아 먹었습니다.
한두열 선수가 쌈가스 체제를 조금 오래 유지하면서
네네.
윤찬희 선수가 이 파고들 만한 좀 빈틈이 생겨났던 것 같습니다.
네네.
또 오랜만에 16강에 진출한 만큼 윤찬희 선수의 더 좋은 경기력을 많은 분들이 기대하고 계실 것 같아요.
네.
앞으로의 계획도 좀 들어볼까요?
일단은 제가 사실 이거 나오게 또 해주신 또 제가 지금 공익 근무 중이거든요. 네, 공익 근무 그 담당자님께서 이런 대회에 나가는 것도 이렇게 허락해 주시고 너무 또 감사한 부분이고요. 그리고 이렇게 또 실망 드리지 않게 저 일 할 거 하면서 열심히 하면서 연습도 열심히 해서 더 좋은 모습 보여드릴 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
네. 16강에서도 윤찬희 선수의 멋진 모습 기대하겠습니다. 인터뷰
네.
고맙습니다.
고맙습니다.
자, 이렇게 해서 F조에서 가장 먼저 16강에 진출한 윤찬희 선수 함께했고요. 저는 잠시 후에 두 번째 진출자와 함께 돌아오겠습니다.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
야채 착착, 당토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥, 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
아이시스 에코 오늘 내룩의 찰떡.
마시고 분리수거 끝.
많은 분들이 아이시스 에코를 따르고 있습니다.
이것도 라벨이 없네?
무라벨은 따라해도 대환영. 팔로우디 에코 아이시스 에코.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스강. 환도 역시 가스강이 대세.
울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
System failure. Call in mission control. I'm like, are you okay? You sound like you're singing. Is there an emergency up there in space?
And the guy in the carriage like, yeah, there's all these little Marins. They're shooting me.
System failure. Call in mission control. Like, this is mission control.
He's like, oh,
Do you read me?
I'm singing a song.
Oh, I was just singing. It's fine.
Like, sir, that's punishable offense.
All right, so we got SoSo going up against MisO.
Yeah. And I mean, MisO has a lot more experience overall, and SoSo did beat him in the qualifier. And I think probably day 1 or day 2, obviously, because MisO still qualified. So probably happened day 3 that he qualified. One of the last ones in. Honestly, against Mong, I felt like he played really poorly at the beginning, then very good in the mid, and then very poorly at the end. So he was kind of like a sine wave, right? He had his peaks and he had his valleys, right?
Yeah, there you go.
You remember trigonometry?
I do not. We're going to go into... Tastosis, you don't know what my GPA was in high school. Trust me, I do not remember trigonometry. MisO versus SoSo. MisO. Look at her toes. She's like, you remember, calculus? I'm like, didn't take that course either. I actually did take trigonometry, and I think that was actually my worst class ever because I was not paying attention at the start.
Yeah.
I almost got kicked out of high school, guys. I mean, my grades were quite bad. I did good in college.
You did well in college.
No, I did good. I meant exactly what I said.
Okay.
No, I remember I was in trigonometry, and I was like already so checked out in school. I would just sleep in class and watch StarCraft at night and play StarCraft at night. But when you get in some of these classes where you really need to have the foundation of the first couple weeks to carry you into the next couple weeks because it's all built off. It was a rough class, man.
I'm sorry.
Got out. Yeah. I don't even really know what happened during the whole time. I was just stressed out and in trouble and not doing my homework, and then eventually I got a D and I didn't have to retake it and I moved on.
Yeah, this is reminding me of the guitar story. So I'm actually starting to see a pattern in your life.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I gotta say these guys' names are really funny together.
Right? SoSo. AP history, am I right? I'm like, no, and again, no.
Honors physics at least, Tastosis?
No. I'm not even sure if I believe in gravity. Let me just say that.
Gravity is a social construct, Tastosis.
Okay, so we've got these two players. I don't know what this game's going to look like at all. I mean, SoSo is sort of our mystery player of the tournament.
Yeah, he is. He's the least known player that made it into ASL. So MisO gonna just go hatchery. This is Ascension, by the way, which is Blue Storm, but for 3 players.
Right.
Looks like a great map.
Yeah, I'm excited by this map more than our other maps.
Yeah, me too. And I'm excited to see what SoSo is going to play like. I imagine that it's going to be SK Terran based on this wall-in and no gas. He's going to scout MisO first, it looks like, which is really nice. We'll see that Overlord right away.
And so he's going to come in here and see this. Now, MisO, you were saying, is kind of a cheesy Zerg, right?
He's very aggressive, yeah.
Do you think he'll just go 2-hatch layer again here?
Yeah. 100%. Based on the gas timing, there's like nothing else he really could do. But I guess we just kind of wait to see how he does it. Like, he did pretty well with the mutas against Mong. He did have that one kind of blunder flying over the turrets. But other than that, it seemed like his harassment was pretty strong. And of course, we have to see from SoSo, like, what he wants to do. Like, is he just going to grab the gas right now? Rush up into +1 attack? Or is he going to add that second barracks? Second barracks.
Very cool.
All right, yeah. I guess in some ways a little bit safer. And I think especially against a player like MisO, who is so aggressive.
What is the expansion layout like on this map? I mean, like, is Terran trying to control a certain region? Is there a good third base and or fourth base location for the Zerg that Terran is trying to preempt the Zerg Cesium?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. It looks like a map that's kind of hard to hold the third base on for Zerg. Like, all the thirds look kind of wide open. So maybe another main base and put lurkers at the choke of it is my guess. But if you want to play a more aggressive strategy, like a heavy Mutalisk strategy, you could just take the base closest to you as Zerg. So, not entirely sure yet. That was tasteless.
That was you. That's you and your weird gassy body just emitting sounds.
Listen, tasteless. Just because I'm Jupiter and you're Uranus doesn't mean that you need to tease me.
Second gas coming down. If Zerg's had to learn a ZVT build, is this one to start with? I get a lot of people on my Twitch stream asking me questions for stuff like that, where I'm like, well, I actually don't know. Like, is there sort of a bread and butter, like, ZVT 101 build you want to learn? And if so, is it this?
Well, this is the best build, is 2-hatch Muta openers. So I would say it's the one that you want to get to, but it's so reliant on Mutalisk Micro. If you're new, you probably want to go 3-hatchery. 3-hatchery is a bit more, you have more play with it by far.
Yeah.
Whereas with the 2-hatch, you have to do funny things like you have to whittle down the Marines. And if you can't do it, you lose. All right, so Ling's actually run by immediately here, going after some SCVs. SoSo lands the barracks and keeps going. Single fire bat here, gonna fight. And his move out is before 5 minutes, which is like, this is basically telling you that he can get in there and force Sunken's minimum and maybe even cancel a third base.
So we've got the Muta's about to come out here. Why is he going up there?
He's looking for the third, but there's so many locations, it's really hard to even figure out where it's at.
Okay, so he's going all the way.
Look, it looks like he thinks that it's in the other main, like I suggested. But MisO actually put it in like almost a random location. It's almost like he rolled a die or something to figure this out, right? This is the most defensible because you have that little choke. So he comes in, there's no hatchery. He's like, oh, well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I guess we turn around now with this little group of bio.
Shucks.
Yeah. That's rough, though. That's rough. Oh my god, did that turret just kill that Overlord?
Yes, it did. That's embarrassing.
I wonder if MisO's actually embarrassed, or you're just...
I'm like getting in his head and stuff. I'm like, now he's thinking about like his ex-girlfriend.
Oh, that's embarrassing too.
So embarrassing.
She left him for MisO.
So the Mutas are on the outside here. They're hammering away at this barracks that is going to be lifted off, but there's a push headed up towards the third, and I think MisO, there's no way these Mutas can get back over there and defend that, so this base is going to go down, and I would much prefer to be in the Terran position right now.
Yeah, especially if he defends these Mutas, which it looks like he will. He's making 4 turrets in his main base. Love to see it. And now drones falling as well as the hatchery. That is so painful for MisO.
So 6 Mutas out, and he's just going to give up the hatchery. But this is quite bad because one of the key points of the build is the third hatchery at the expansion. I mean, if you lose that, on paper, you should be losing the game.
Yeah.
If Terran is playing correctly, there's just not a lot else to it.
Well, they have such an advantage here. In a situation like this, generally what you'll do is add a bunch of turrets because your opponent doesn't have any options other than to do damage back to you.
Right, exactly.
And that is exactly what MisO is going for. Loses the Muta, but picks off a couple turrets and some SCVs here, continuing that harassment. In the meantime, that little group of bio going down towards MisO's expansion. Only one Sunken is actually ready, but it doesn't look like he'll hit it in time.
And so
you are a bully. We were talking about this on GSL. Oh my god. It's real. It became real. I misspeak for a second. Casted for 13 years. There's gonna be mistakes. And here Tastosis is. I'm like, I make a little sound. He's like, gluck, gluck, gluck.
He makes a sound, and I was like,
make more noise, chicken boy.
You're the smaller chicken. I had to peck you to death. So he's actually got a really good angle here. It seems like
he's dealing massive damage.
The way that the Marines and medics fit through the mineral and command center makes like this perfect bottleneck where you can just slingshot Mutaglaves into there and just let him wreak havoc.
I like his slingshot music.
Yeah, no, I got excited, and my eyebrows went up as I was going to say it. It was like slingshot. I'm like, Tastosis, you know.
Yeah, and I can kind of see it where like
Look at this Shakespeare gamer over here. Oh my God.
MisO's like, I need you guys to slingshot the glaives in here, and they're like, all right, Indy.
He's done so much damage.
Yeah, it's insane.
So this is actually what a lot of the like pre-2010 ZVTs looked like with really good 2H Muta, is sometimes they would just keep doing damage until there was no SCVs or no Marines, and the game would grind to a halt with a Zerg victory.
Yeah, this looks like MisO is very far ahead right now. There's still a small chance, because we do have a starport on the way, that he can get into some splash damage. Valkyrie would probably be his best shot, but we'll just see what he decides to do. He has a big gas bank, so he might just go right into Vessel.
And now the CC's been lifted. This is all a very bad sign. Now, despite the third hatch being denied, I'm going to dial it back here and just say I think Zerg actually can win this still. This is looking extremely good.
Absolutely. I think he's done enough damage that he's definitely ahead right now. We do have that starport up. Let's see what he gets made out of it. We haven't actually seen the top of the main. It looks like he's making a science facility up there, but he needs to get back with these. Oh no, that's like a give up move right there. That's a big mistake.
Okay, this is actually, I think, game.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
That is a lot of mutas.
Yeah, he just didn't quite have the defensive setup. I mean, a lot of the stopping the muta 2-hatch play is preemption. And, I mean, he just really wasn't ready for it. And he doesn't even seem like he's going to try to relocate the barracks. And that's it, GG.
A rough one for SoSo. I think he had an excellent opening there.
Shrimp Bat Gamer wins.
Yeah, once you kill... Shrimp Bat Gamer wins.
Shrimp Bats.
Oh my gosh. Well, once you kill that third base, really, there, like, all you can do, you can scan and see, like, okay, do they have a Hydralisk Den? It might be a Lurk call-in. Other than that, it's probably a Mutalisk call-in at that point. So you have to get, like, 1,000,000 turrets down. You have to really, really defend as hard as you can. And unfortunately, he couldn't get enough up.
All right, MisO versus... oh, that's right, it's Mini.
Yeah, MisO versus Mini.
For some reason in my head, I'm still thinking Mini's already out of this group, even though he lost. But I'm like, yeah, he's so dirty and awesome with his Protoss play. Yeah, no, that's right. MisO versus Mini, man.
All right, that means we get a nice little ZVP.
That's a scary face he's making.
Yeah.
That is, you could be like...
He's I ogre Zerg gamer.
Can I be a zombie in the next Korean zombie? Yes, with that face you can. MisO has won, but a big challenge lies up ahead. Mini is very tricky at PvZ, just like he is at PvT.
Well, guess what? MisO is very tricky at ZVP, just like he is in all the other matchups.
Whoa!
It's a battle of tricks coming up.
It's a couple tricky gamers trying to trick each other. Who's going to trick them? We're going to find out. Guys, tiny break, then we come back to our final match for the round of 24.
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와, 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
디자인하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스강. 환도 역시 가스강이 대세.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
Say, what is a mistake? What is a mistake? One's crowned for an action, another burnt at the stake. What is a mistake? Say, what is a mistake? One's crowned for an action, another burnt at the stake. I'll spend another bill. At least I am awake. What is a mistake? What is a mistake? I'll spend another bill. At least I am awake. Too much more to get. A momentary glimpse of Paris, when love brought me to tears. 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 Love brought me to tears.
The final match is on. Mini versus MisO. Of course, Mong defeated Mini with an excellent Medic Marine timing attack. And so here is Mini, somewhat humiliated, waiting in the final match here.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be by far the easiest group, with the exception of him being in it, which was supposed to be obvious he would advance.
But here he is on the brink of elimination. And the vetoes went differently this time, the only time it has. Mini actually vetoed Polypoid, so we're going to be playing this on Fighting Spirit.
Fighting Spirit?
Fighting Spirit, Tastosis.
Wait a minute. I think I've heard of that map before.
No, you haven't. It's new.
Like, is that the one on Lost Temple?
Yes.
No. Okay.
Close enough.
Fighting
actually.
Spirit?
Fighting Spirit. It's crazy that this map is even in ASL.
We have this map at this tournament?
Dude.
God.
Whoever decided no more English ASL cast also decided Fighting Spirit.
That was that guy's idea.
And both of those ideas.
I want you guys to know that guy got a pay raise while we're sitting here casting from Dan's house. Mini versus MisO. All right, let's see what happens, man. Two cheesy players, Mini and MisO. The winner is the last survivor to go to the round of 16. The loser, we kill him. Not really.
Not us.
Not us. We have a nerd with a big black mask over his head and an axe that does that.
It was going to be Mong, but he made it to the next round. I don't know.
Mong would be a good village executioner.
100%, man.
It's like, all right, we decided that you're guilty. All right, Mong, come over here and murder this guy. You're the guy that can't feel, right? You've killed enough cats, right? You're fine doing this, huh?
It's amazing. All right, Tasteless. Fighting Spirit, man. PVZ. What do I even say about this? I think it's kind of funny that it's this map, and then also I'm wondering, right? Because Fighting Spirit is like, it's had like the most games played on it ever.
Oh no, this is the most played map by far. I'm actually glad it is out of the map pool rotation. I'm just shocked that it's here right now.
Yeah, well, we have to keep it alive one way or the other.
I think they should make a new version of Fighting Spirit. Did you like Reverse Lost Temple?
Reverse Lost Temple was very, very, very tough for Terran, but I liked the idea behind it.
Yeah. Why don't we have like something
like Reverse Fighting Spirit?
Something like that, yeah. I'm like, what about Fighting Spirit? But it's an ice map. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, they did
make it better.
They made a Twilight version that is a little bit better. So they did remake it, but it didn't get super played. But I think if they remade it, but actually like made it a little bit better, like you make the naturals a little bit better for turret placement, stuff like that, and you widen up the high ground bases at 12, 6, 3, and 9. Like those are too tight, for instance. Like you can't defend them against things like recall. It's impossible, you know?
I want to tell you, just looking at the portraits of these players.
Yeah.
This is the exact same posture I have as well when I play.
Oh my god. They both are just hunched right over.
Old shoulder ears over here.
Shoulder ears. He can hear his collarbone. Someone's like, oh, what sound does a collarbone make? I'm like, I don't ask these two.
I did a bad tasteless drawing contest on my stream. We threw it up on my YouTube, but I discovered in all the drawings that I don't have ears when people see me. Like, if I just have my headphones in, my ears are not visible. My cheeks stick out too much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I am here to tell everyone that without your headset on, your cheeks still stick out too much.
No, exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my little earbuds, you still can't see my ears.
Tasteless has seal
I'm here
ears.
to tell you that Tasteless has no ears. He just has these holes in the sides of his head.
Yeah, seal ears.
I've got seal ears.
Yeah. You look like a seal. It's like what you do to a dog. Everyone who has a dog just pulls their ears back. You're like, oh, look at you. You're a seal now.
Mine's got bugs in it for some reason. Okay, so Mini, I love this, by the way.
Yeah.
He went for the 2-gate into expand.
Yeah, he only made like 2 odds before the expand.
Yeah, which
What's
is
that all
actually it's not the way I understand how to do it, but so basically, guys, Mini has been bringing back these builds that are so old and everybody thought they would not work, and he makes them work, and it makes the Zerg play by a different set of rules. And what's also funny about this is players who are particularly young in StarCraft, you know, like people like under 20, for instance, have never played against this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's super frustrating.
No one plays like this, right?
Yeah. This is something I've been trying to learn how to do because it's so fun, and it just completely changes the way that the early game operates, you know? But you got to be careful because you can get mass linged and run over.
There are a lot of lings.
There are a lot of lings here.
And that is making me a bit nervous. And the ling count is growing. There's a Zealot waiting up here at the 3rd base. Is Zergling going to go up and scout it? Oh, layer coming up. And more lings, Tasteless.
Yep. This is something that people do against this, is the 2-hatch layer. But you got to deny the scout.
Oh, really? Oh, he did get the scout before I could see it. Forge, what is this placement? What am I looking at?
I've never seen that placement.
This is a StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty first 2 months of the game wall in. Okay? Because people didn't make naturals correctly. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Where you'd have this weird-ass SimCity with a cannon next to your Nexus.
We were all cave people back then, drinking mud water with our primitive builds.
And here Mini is. He's like, I love mud water. It makes your immune system stronger. Dude, look at that wall. I have never... He made a wall that's shaped like a boomerang.
Look at this.
Is he gonna go hunt kangaroos? What is going on with this wall?
It looks like an orc fortress there. Pylon, forge, pylon.
All Protoss bases look like an orc fortress.
Tusks sticking out of the ground.
Yeah.
So what's funny about this is you actually can wall this off with 5 zealots, which is why he did it.
Okay.
That's wild. And also the cannon is far back enough, it kind of covers the minerals as well. So you're kind of okay against 2-hatch. You need another cannon in the mineral patch line. But what happens with builds like this and why this is so important to watch for is that Zergs, a lot of times, their answer to this is to go 2-hatch Muta. And the Protoss, if they do it correctly, the goal is to simply parry the 2-hatch Muta and tech ahead and win.
Okay. Does he go Corsair from here? Is that how that works?
We haven't gotten a shot of the main, so I have no idea what's going on down there.
Okay.
Right now, this observer apparently watches just zealots, and then he keeps going back to that wall and to try to take it in just like you are.
Yeah. What is this wall on again?
Can we get a shot of the Protoss Natural again? I just want to see if the forge and 2 pylons are still there.
Now look at this.
Okay,
the Muta's come out, but he's making a beeline across the map.
Can we get a shot of the main, please, observer?
No, it's a surprise.
I have no idea what's in there. I'm like, are there cannons? No cannons?
Look at this. Okay, so 3 Mutas are going to go across. Oh, there's going to be 2 cannons. Those 3 Mutas aren't going to do anything. But now I guess he has to fight here with Muta Ling to kill the Zealots, but the Zealots actually still have a lot of health. There go the 3 Mutas. They're like, oh, we should have stayed at home.
Oops. Pray Mute. Denied. And I mean, you're fine losing these zealots. This is, you just get as many drone kills as you can.
Yeah, he gets only 1.
Well, I mean, what's more important is that these mutas are staying back here. Protoss is going to have the organic counter to this. Now, there is like the Ogre Zerg gamer play that we have that does all in. You can do kind of like a little Ogre Zerg junior gamer with this.
Ogre Zerg junior
It's like
gamer.
a smaller Ogre Zerg, and he's got a propeller hat on his head and a big club. And
oh my gosh.
And this is like can be targeted to the main. I think we might be out of range of this anyways, but you like get 6 Scourge, you come in and just be like, ha! And try to kill the Corsairs in the cannons. But I think Mini's basically done it. It's funny how this build works though, right? As a Zerg is like, oh, this is weird. I'm going to try to tech into this and end this game.
Yeah. And now 2 Zealots walk there and every Mutalist has to come home.
Yeah, there's a Scourge. Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
That's the propeller hat right there. You go, okay, kid.
Ogre Zerg Gamer Jr. forgot to clean his room, Tasteless, and he's being grounded. All his Mutas have to come home. Oh, my gosh. 2 Zealots.
The thing is, it's becoming more and more clear what's happening. Well, look at this Zealot. I'm like, without that gas, how can he make his Mutas?
All right, kills that off. Look at this, though. These 2 Zealots just walking off to some random spot of the map where they're not going to be found. Double Stargate Corsair. Oh, he finds them, though.
You know, it's a great way that he could end this is he gets enough Corsairs and then has 1 scout. And after he wins the fight, he flies over the main with the scout and just shoots the drones.
Oh my gosh, Tasteless. You're a genius.
I know, man. This has been funny game here.
This is a weird one.
But this is what we were talking about with Mini is he really is quite good at these kind of weird balancing act styles. Because the 2-hatch Muta play from Zerg is actually quite strong. Against this because the Protoss, you know, they're slower earlier on. They have insufficient information. Mini kind of added a twist to this game because the build that we're used to seeing, you make a lot more zealots. But he I think he made his Nexus. I'm gonna have to watch the game again. I think he made his Nexus like after 3 zealots.
Yeah, 2. He had 2 zealots.
Okay, and then,
maybe another one was making, but he only had 2 zealots.
And then he just barely got enough to lock this out with 5 zealots, which is just kind of unheard of.
Yeah, very weird. And now he's got so many Corsairs. We better have +1 for MisO very soon.
Yeah, I think
if he doesn't get the +1 flyer carapace, he's just going to evaporate. And now it's time for the 4 Zealot 2 Dragoon attack at 9 minutes 35 seconds. Move out. Write this down, Tasteless.
You actually always do get the 2 Dragoons with this build too. Stop y'all in.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, here we go. Now here's Ogre Zerg Gamer Jr. He's ready. He's coming out now.
Yeah, he's bringing all of his Scourge. Oh boy. Oh
Wow,
boy,
okay, that didn't work.
did not work at all.
So he completely shut that down. And the problem now is not just that, you know, the mutas had to go back, but you can actually start to kill the overlords here if you win this fight. Like if Zerg loses this fight, this duel, then I know we meme about Ogre Zerg Gamer, but this actually is very hard for Zerg to do. It's like a pretty complicated attack to come in.
He has a lot of Scourge. Let's see if he can get it done. The Scourge getting on top of them. And he actually kills a lot, but I mean, there's still a couple there.
I think he barely loses the Corsair.
Oh my god, oh my god. Oh, that is like a bunch of 10 health mutas. All right, the Zealot's just running by now. Kills a couple of those drones. More Corsairs coming. This does not look very good for MisO.
Well, the problem is that you're stuck in this tech. And I mean, the Corsairs over time are going to be the victors of this. The Zealots are now able to hit all these different drones everywhere.
Oh, man.
I think we are getting to the tipping point as far as damage goes. In fact, if he takes out the hatchery here, it's going to get even worse. And again, it's two Corsair.
Yeah. Well, you're never going to be able to win the air battle, right? He's lost that hatchery at the third base. He's lost a ton of drones during all of this. He hasn't put any damage onto Mini.
It is a funny thing. You know, mutas don't really kill Zealots fast at all.
No, they really don't.
Like, I mean, obviously, you think, okay, the mutas can shoot this down. That'll be cleaned up. But in reality, they kind of get to ignore the mutas for a while and just keep doing damage over here. And I think Mini is continuing to expand the list of ways in which he's ahead in this game. The third base is up. He's got lots of gates. I don't know if there's a robo done. He doesn't need one, but you know, we don't see even lurker tech up here yet. More Corsairs are coming out, and I think the Archon paired with the Corsairs is going to be a real killer here.
Oh my god, an Archon hit.
So you can outrange an Archon with mutas.
Ooh, the Corsairs.
Oh, what?
Oh boy, Tasteless. I am not feeling good for MisO anymore.
So he's going to fork his mutas out in different directions. And I mean,
he's just dead,
this is
right?
done. This is done. I want to see if Zergs keep trying this style against this. It does seem like it is answered by the Protoss.
Well, the thing that I think is kind of crazy about it, Mini does this a lot, and not many people do. So the amount of experience he has in this situation against all these Zergs that think you counter it the same way is immense. Whereas these Zergs only get to practice it basically against Mini, and that's like once in a while.
This is why I've been very interested in following Mini's career and seeing like how long can he keep doing this different stuff. And you know, I know Stork is another player who's experimented with styles like this, you know, and the thing is, a lot of people had said, you know, this GG, a lot of people said this would not work at the highest level, but then Mini makes it work.
Yeah, beautifully done from Mini. I do love to watch his Protoss vs. Zerg. He's got just such flair in it and plays it so differently from every other top level pro.
Oh yeah.
He's really kind of like a more modern BiSu or something.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah. Has all his own kind of like timings and his own pressure plays, and it works so well. He's actually, I believe he's like the second highest win percentage in PvZ in for ASL next to BiSu.
Yeah, I believe that's correct, Tastosis.
Well, Mini does advance as we were expecting, but in second place. So not having as easy a time as he would have liked. MisO, third in the group, does end up getting some revenge on SoSo.
And don't forget, Mong advanced today, too.
Yeah, that's right.
Kind of a exciting plot twist, defeating Mini with bio timing versus carrier.
that was a very, very different game.
Yeah, fun game to cast for sure. So we're going to go to an interview now with Mini. Old Min.
Minarino.
Minaruski. Let's see how he's feeling. He is the final player to advance to the round of 16.
ASL 24강 F조 경기 마지막 경기까지 함께 만나보셨습니다. 16강의 모든 선수들이 결정됐는데요. 마지막 16강 진출자 변현재 선수 만나보겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
경기가 끝나고 정말 가슴을 쓸어내리는 듯한 변현재 선수의 모습을 봤습니다. 윤찬희 선수에게 일격을 맞으면서 심리적으로도 좀 많이 위축됐을 것 같은데 한두열 선수와의 마지막 경기에서도 변현재 선수가 가슴이 좀 철렁하셨을 것 같아요. 대각선이고 앞마당에 12시에 없었거든요.
네.
변현재 선수가 탄식하는 소리가 저한테까지 들려왔거든요. 그때 좀 무슨 기분이 드셨어요?
그러니까 두열이 형이랑 이제 게임을 할 때 이제 러시거리 가까운 맵일 때는 이제 앞마당을 빠르게 먹는 행동을 하다 저한테 많이 졌었거든요. 그래서 이제 빠르게 마당을 먹는 행동은 절대 안 할 거라고 생각을 했는데 대각선에다가 이제 마당까지 빠르니까 갑자기 졌다라고 생각 들었는데 어떻게 좀 잘하다 보니까 잘 풀린 것 같아요.
탄식하고 난 이후에 변현재 선수의 움직임이 굉장히 빨랐습니다. 본진에 캐논 공사하고 그리고 질럿 병력을 나눠서 뮤타를 묶어놓으면서 시간을 좀 버셨거든요. 그래도 어느 정도는 좀 가능성이 있다고 생각을 하고 플레이를 좀 하셨나요?
뭔가 엄청 불리했어야 됐다고 생각을 했는데
네.
질럿이 이제 쳐들어가고 나서 생각보다 괜찮아 보이더라고요. 거기서 이제 뮤탈이 또 애매하게 3기가 출발하는 바람에 이제 뭐 썬큰을 하나 더 받고 다 출발했으면 이제 좀 뭐 졌다고도 생각하고 아니면 이제 다 막았어도 이제 좀 엄청 불리하게 운영을 했을 거라고 생각했는데 이제 두열이 형이 좀 애매하게 해서 제가 좀 괜찮았던 것 같아요.
변현재 선수 오늘 최종전으로 올라가긴 했지만 첫 번째 경기 배오현 선수와의 경기가 굉장히 인상 깊었습니다. 전진 파일론, 가스러시, 매너 파일론까지 좀 아마추어 선수를 상대로 벽을 느끼게 해주겠다라는 각오가 경기를 통해서 좀 와닿았어요. 질럿을 정말 집요하게 뽑으면서 상대를 괴롭히는 좀 정말 사파토스의 정석다운 플레이를 좀 보여주셨는데 좀 계획한 플레이였나요?
네, 일단은 아마추어 테란이 이제 호연이도 처음 올라온 거잖아요. 처음 올라오면 이제 긴장할 수밖에 없기 때문에 그 긴장한 거를 잘 활용할 수 있는 방법은 무조건 전진 게이트라고 생각했거든요. 이제 호연이도 운영을 가면 잘하기 때문에 이제 최대한 이제 무난하게만 하지 말자는 생각으로 이제 섰을 때 준비했어요.
그래도 배우현 선수가 수비를 굉장히 꼼꼼하게 해내는 모습까지는 보였는데 질럿을 계속 뽑으면서 설마 막히나 하는 생각은 혹시 안 드셨나요?
저 처음엔 그냥 엄청 많이 활약할 줄 알았는데 질럿이 생각보다 엄청 잘 먹어가지고
네.
SCB 길막도 좀 좋았고 뭔가 멀티도 좀 빠르고 저는 좀 많이 털 줄 알고 이제 본진에다 게이트도 하나 더 짓고 이제 천천히 마당을 먹자고 생각을 했는데 호연이가 너무 잘 막아서 좀 나중에 갔던 질럿이 본진으로 들어가지 못했으면 좀 불리하게 운영했을 것 같아요.
윤찬희 선수에게 일격을 맞고 난 이후에 변현재 선수가 많이 좀 흔들리셨을 것 같은데 윤찬희 선수 말대로 좀 윤찬희 선수를 조금 무서워했던 게 패배의 요인이었을까요? 그 경기를 복귀하면서 좀 어떤 생각을 하셨나요?
좀 쉽게 생각했어야 되는데 괜히 빌드를 짠다는 생각으로 이제 준비를 했는데 이제 상황도 이제 제가 이제 멀티를 빨리 먹고 상대 이제 배럭을 짓고 멀티를 먹었잖아요. 상황도 괜찮았는데 좀 무난하게 할 거리라는 후회를 좀 가지고 있었죠.
리버 캐리어를 했으면 어땠을까 하는 후회를 계속 하셨다고.
그렇게 이제 캐리어를 빨리 간 적은 진짜 거의 몇 년 만에 해보는 것 같은데 이제 영재 형이 연습을 도와줬었는데 이제 그때 괜히 빌드를 잘 짜서 가야겠다는 생각을 너무 많이 해서 이제 상대 테란이 몽형이 이제 뭐 공익 근무하고 있어서 뭐 연습을 많이 못 하잖아요. 좀 쉽게 생각하고 이제 경기를 임했어야 되는데 너무 빌드 생각을 많이 했던 것 같아요.
또 이렇게 많은 생각을 한 게 그 다음 16강에서는 또 어떤 도움이 될지 모르는 거니까 변현재 선수의 16강이 굉장히 기대가 되는데요. 앞으로의 각오를 한마디 팬들에게 밝혀주시죠.
일단 두열이 형이 어제 연습을 엄청 열심히 하더라고요. 그래서 제가 2승으로 꼭 진출한다고 했는데 이제 두열이 형이 좀 아쉽게 돼서 좀 그렇고 이제 저는 이제 16강 진출한 만큼 이번에는 이제 4강까지 목표는 꼭 이루도록 열심히 하겠습니다.
네, 16강에서도 멋진 모습 기대하겠습니다. 인터뷰 고맙습니다.
감사합니다.
자, 이렇게 해서 ASL 시즌 11의 마지막 16강 진출자 변현재 선수와 이야기 나눠봤습니다.
Guys, we did it. Round of 24 is done. Thank you so much for being part of this, everybody, and thank you for your support on Patreon. It's going to be Mini and MisO Mini and Mong. I don't know what's going on with me. Advancing there, and so this is our lineup here. Look at this.
Dude, 565, it is amazing. And the lineup of players is outstanding, truly.
Oh,
Truly,
yeah.
like, look at that Protoss lineup. Oh my god, it's awesome. look at that Terran lineup. It's so great, and also we do have Mong in there, who's a very good player. And for Zerg, I mean, can you name Zergs better than that?
I actually think the Zerg lineup is terrifying. I do think there's a chance that Protoss wins this season, though.
Yeah, I think
it's not going to be a Terran winning, actually.
Yeah, we did mention Flash is not playing in ASL. So.
He's random Artosis.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess so. But I could see that. I could see like a Best taking this. Best is kind of my pick for Protoss, but really I'm kind of looking at Queen still. I'm looking at effort.
Well, Queen as Soma as well. Queen and Soma, if it's not going to be a Protoss, I think Queen Soma. I mean, maybe a Terran takes it, but right now I feel like the Zergs and the Protosses are a little bit stronger.
Maybe. Well, I think Queen, Light, Soma, Effort, Best are kind of the front runners. Maybe Snow, although I haven't been as impressed with him lately. It's a great round of 16, though. Cannot wait. Guys, the next thing that we will be putting out is the group selection.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you brought this up. The group selection is going to be all translated.
Yes, that's right. So
you can watch that, and I actually think this format is better than anything that we could have done in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Just I do think that
subtitle
instead of having somebody try to live translate it, get somebody who can really parse it and word it correctly. And props to Kurt for doing that. He's been doing a great job. Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun, and those group selections are always like everyone that's in Brood War is kind of like got an interesting and different personality. Especially some of these. Mong, huge personality. Larva, huge personality. Right? Some of these other guys as well. Shuttle, he's like a big joker. This is going to be a fun group selection phase.
It's going to be great. Can't wait. And again, I think it's a real mystery who's going to come out on top this time. You know, with Flash being gone, at least for now. I mean, I'm sure he'll be back in another season. I mean, it's good.
Yeah. Hopefully you recover soon. But
yeah, look, for sure.
Yeah, I think you can look to kind of the usuals like Queen, right? Like he's won 2 in a row. Why not a third? Why not 3 in a row?
He might. Well, he's good enough. He might just keep winning too.
Yeah, definitely a possibility. Well, guys, this has been great. The round of 24 has been fantastic.
Yep.
Please do know that we are working to improve this, and it is going to continue to improve. So anything that you see that is an issue, we are watching, we are listening.
Right.
And it will be taken care of. We already have even more things that we're fixing going into the next round that we're really excited about to show you guys, and well, we'll leave it at that.
And we appreciate your guys' support and your patience while we're kind of figuring this out as we go. I think you're completely right. As the next couple of VODs come out, I think you're going to see a lot more stuff that we've improved and modified and everything like that. And again, guys, thank you so much for the support. We love you. Patreon.com/ASL English. Anything else you want to say?
No, that's about it. Guys, thank you for watching, and yeah, we will see you next time. Bye-bye.